Top of the morning to you. Welcome. This is This Morning on ITV. I am Anuluwakbo Stevens, your host right here on the show in our Benin studio. And I have Harry Agboje on this table as well. Good morning, Harry.
Beautiful morning to you, Anu. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. So many things to talk about today on the show. And we also have our colleagues joining in Lagos and Abuja during the course of the show. But let's quickly wrap minds around this. I saw an interesting conversation I thought to share regarding the Senate demanding the halt of rehabilitation and reintegration of bandits and terrorists into the society. Now, the Senate has asked the federal government to suspend the rehabilitation and reintegration program for Boko Haram members while urging security agencies to intensify efforts to arrest and persecute terrorists and other criminal elements responsible for attacks across the country. Harry, what do you make out of this? Well, what was your first reaction when you heard the news?
First things first, the first thing that came to my mind was, where have they been all along? And why did it take them so long to, come to the realization of the fact that it doesn't make sense? As a matter of fact, it reminds me of what, because I was actually going through the speech, and I saw the part where the senator representing Edo North Senatorial District, former governor, Senator Adams Oshiomhole, said that it doesn't make the whole process, the whole system of rehabilitating terrorists and bandits doesn't make common sense. And the first thing that came to my mind was, what exactly is he insinuating? Is he saying that his principle isn't making common sense? But that's a matter for another day. But you see, it's been a long time coming, like I said. And, I've said times without number on this platform that it doesn't make an iota of sense rehabilitating someone who, has been orientated to go about killing people and unleashing mayhem on people. It is a non-fact the world over that you don't rehabilitate. In fact, you don't even negotiate with terrorists. Okay, so how do we get to the point where, we are not just giving terrorists, in fact, terrorists should have no place at the negotiating table. Right. Now we've gotten to a point where we are rehabilitating them, and then what are the parameters for measuring repentance? So how are you sure they've repented? If you understand the process that it takes for these guys to become terrorists, if you understand the psychological, the indoctrination, the psychological process that they have to go through to become terrorists, then you will know that it is near impossible for them to be truly repentant.
Right, that's the thing. Another big question is, can someone be truly repentant?
Yes.
So let's say you're an addict or you smoke a lot. For Harry, I don't know if you do you get to smoke, but let's say just say an addict of smoking. And then we hear cases of how a person have to struggle to leave their addiction. And for you now to call out a Boko Haram or a terrorist repentant.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because smoking in itself is terrible enough. It's a very serious addiction. So if something as serious as smoking can be so hard to break free from, you can imagine how hard terrorism and banditry would be.
Now let's bring our colleagues in Lagos and Abuja. Good morning, Lagos. How is Lagos today? Patricia, how are you?
Good morning, Anu. Lagos is beautiful, raining as always, but we are there. When you were talking about the terrorists, Harry said something and that made me to laugh. I just was in the studio alone and I started laughing, trust me. But anyway, I just want to say one word about that. Way to go. That's the way to go. I mean, like Harry said, why did it take them so long to decide on this? That is just the way to go. Adams Oshiomhole said it doesn't make common sense. That's what made me to laugh. Really, it really doesn't make common sense. It is a way to go. It took them so long, but thank God they got to this point. It's a way to go.
Now let me ask you this question. So one would wonder where all of the supporters of this program have been all along. And one of their claim is the fact that rehabilitating them or reintegrating them back into the society helps reduce them returning back to violence. How would you react to that?
No, that's not true. They are going to be giving information to those of them that are still in there. That's the bottom line. That's the truth. There's no way they could become that clean that they won't communicate with their members who are still out there causing harm to the government, to the country. So for me, they cannot be that clean. They will always. Some of them could come out clean. Actually, let's not give 100% conclusion, but we will still have the bad eggs amongst them who always take back information to their people in wherever their hideouts is.
Okay, well, as we get to leave this conversation here, Harry, yesterday the Defense Minister, Christopher Musa, was actually on the street of social media trending because of an interesting statement that he made. He says, no more waiting, right? Shoot them. Basically, shoot at sight. Now, the Defense Minister is ordering troops to engage bandits and terrorists without delay. But this is not the first time we're hearing and seeing, voices like this or information like this coming out from security chiefs. What do you make out of this?
Well, I totally agree with him. I think we've gone past the point where we make efforts to capture them. And of course, that's exactly what leads to the whole conversation about rehabilitation and the reintegration. Because if you do not capture them, you wouldn't even, start talking of rehabilitating them. But when you shoot at sight, let them go and reconcile with their maker. Now, like you rightly said, this is not the first time we're seeing something of this nature. Okay, we're used to the government coming out to say, not just government agencies as well, coming out to say, well, let's give stiffer penalties for these crimes and these atrocities. But I think right from time, we've never really lacked in policy making, in my opinion. I think the problem has always been the lack of willpower to do the needful. And the sincerity of purpose, because I would like to believe that the government is not sincere enough, and because it was not.
Say that?
I would say that because of something a past president once said, that if insecurity lingers for more than 48 hours, then the government knows something about it.
Sani Abacha.
I didn't want to mention it, but thanks for filling me in. But basically, that's what I'm saying. Right. I feel like we've come to that point where we need to start intensifying measures to put an end, to stamp out insecurity totally. Because I think the reason the Senate is beginning to wake up is because it's no longer business as usual. Because back then it was as though the mayhem was being unleashed on the common man. But now it's beginning to hit home, and they're feeling more threatened than concerned. So I feel like it's a wake-up call, and the earlier we really start clamping down on them for real, the better for us all.
Absolutely. Patricia, they say that security is everybody's business at this point, but really how business-like it is for, an average Nigerian. I'd love to get your thoughts on what we just talked about regarding shoot at sight from the Defense Minister, and also what we would be enjoying from your plate today in Lagos.
Okay, Anu, thank you so much. Shoot at sight, we've always heard that from past governments and even this present government. If it will be implemented, that could help curb this menace going around as kidnapping, terrorism, and all of that. If it will be implemented, we've always heard shoot at sight, and we never see it happen. We just hope this will be implemented this time around. And from Lagos, we'll be looking at two topics. We'll be taking a look at the allegation from the former governor of Borno State, Sheriff, who accuses Peter Obi for pursuing Nigerians' division because he says Peter Obi is an IPOB. So we're going to be taking a look at that later on today. And we'll also try to take a look at the federal agency. The president has ordered a comprehensive probe. And, like we said the other day, the father of Prince was arrested. But this morning I saw a video flying around where Prince called the very dark man and, says he wants to take his evidence to the police later on by today or thereabout. He's ready to give the police and the EFCC and whoever agencies that is concerned all the documentations that he has. So he's ready to turn himself in. So we'll be taking a look at that later on.
Conversation, and I'm currently wrapping my head around why Prince Adewale Adeniyi would actually involve a very dark man in a very critical and serious situation and conversation like this. But anyway, we'll leave everything to the Senate, the federal government, the ICPC to do the needful regarding that story. Back here in Edo State, Nigeria, we'll turn our attention over to the youth, which according to statistics makes more of the population in Nigeria. And the big question really is, ahead of the 2027 general election, what's the role of young people in leadership? And also we'll turn our attention over to the NYSC reform. A couple of days ago, we saw the Minister of Youth and Development actually at a sister station where he said so many things and helped break down what really the reform is all about 53 years after. Is this the right time or not? We'll have amazing guests join us today on the show. We'll have Comrade Fidelis, former National Organization Secretary, YCON, and we'll also have Maleke Idowu join us in the studio this morning. Well, joining virtually, we have Oliberos Oshomar Esquire join us to talk more about this and more. There's a whole lot more to talk about on the show, but we really take a short break. And when we return, we'll move over to the front pages of the newspaper.
The land of Onwa is inhabited by the people with common ancestry, language, religion, economic and socio-political ties. However, irrespective of their subtitle differences in language and culture, they share common traditions. The people are known for their hospitality. Onwa traced their origin to Benin Kingdom as a result for a man to find a comfortable place for living. The name Onwa was derived from the largest and longest river in the area, which is known as Onwian or Onwa. It means one who makes merry in affluence.
Thank you very much for joining us on the program, Healthy Living. What is the kidney?
The kidney is an excretory organ in the body, which is for metabolism.
Tuberculosis affects many organs in the body, but the common ones it usually affects is the lungs.
Epilepsy is a neurological problem.
Okay.
It is an injury in the brain, which causes someone to begin to convulse, to go into fits.
It is curable, but the cure is a long-term thing.
If you eat well and avoid those risk factors that will make your immunity to be down, then the risk of contracting tuberculosis will be reduced.
If you're healthy, then you're wealthy.
Well, thank you so much for staying with us. You're on to This Morning on ITV, and we turn our attention now to national dailies on the show today. We'll start off with The Punch newspaper, leading with a bold headline that says 2027 elections, 6 legal hurdles before INEC. Well, wondering what that is about, pick up a copy of The Punch newspaper this morning. On page 22 of The Punch newspaper, it says, rising prices threaten Nigeria's poverty reduction gains. Who is speaking? The International Monetary Fund, IMF. Constituency projects alleged funding suspension throws representatives into rowdy session on page 12. We'll talk some more about this on TMI Socials this morning. Harry.
Absolutely, and let's now focus on the Daily Times newspaper. And the Daily Times newspaper is leading with this screamer that says, budget funding, Abbas blocks attempt to summon Tinubu, insists House must follow approved motion. Budget funding, Abbas blocks attempts to summon Tinubu, insists House must follow approved motion. And then above the masthead there, aviation crisis looms as ANAP threatens shutdown over mountain debts. And next to that, how NNPC's $20 billion gas deals failed to deliver 2 million BPD oil production target. And then still on the Daily Times newspaper this morning, insurgency, don't wait for orders. Musa reissues shoot on sight order to troops. Just like you made mention of a moment ago.
Right.
And then court awards 10 million naira against EFCC for defaming ex-power minister Ogunloye. I think that's pretty much it on the Daily Times newspaper this morning.
Now, the First Daily newspaper is up next to the First Daily newspaper, leading with, no more waiting, shoot them. Hill speaking, Defense Minister orders troops to engage bandit terrorists without delay. Obi, I may not be alive before 2027, alleges threats, intimidation. House erupts as lawmakers clash over move to summon Tinubu. Representative joins Senate demand for end to repentant terrorist rehabilitation. PFIPC, Senate blocks fresh probe of 1.3 billion naira budget allocation. CBN warns against rejection of 100 naira notes. Representatives move to crush 2.23 trillion naira kidnap ransom network. Well, outside Nigeria, Trump declares Iran ceasefire over after fresh strikes. Well, still on the front page of the First Daily newspaper this morning, we have a picture of the newly graduated Nigerian Army recruits stand information during their personnel parade at the depot right there in Ebonyi State. And the event happened yesterday. Well, congratulations to them. OpenAI launches next generation GPT-5.6 models. Well, that's all on the First Daily. But Harry, I want us to react to this interesting comment from Peter Obi. It says he might not be alive ahead of the 2027. He might not be alive before the 2027 election. Now he's alleging intimidation and harassment and a whole lot of that and threats. What do you think is playing out here?
Well, politics is a dirty game, like some persons have said, times without number. And before you decide to dabble into politics, you should have dotted the I's and crossed the T's. So I really would like to believe that he counted the cost before actually embarking on this. And having said that, this actually does bring mixed feelings.
Right.
Okay, because we understand that there is a, should I call it, so much hostility towards the opposition in Nigeria, in Nigerian politics. And we understand how desperate and extreme some politicians can be, especially when it comes to presidency. So I wouldn't really know how substantial his claims are. But at the same time, I think it's a cause for worry, and it's for the security agents to actually start paying attention to what exactly is going on, and of course doing the necessary investigation just to ensure that he's actually not at risk.
But then again, there are those who would say, with the kind of candidature of Peter Obi, of course we know how he has a large followership, especially online, and with the young persons, there are those who just feel he's the messiah that want to come save Nigeria. Now, with him coming out to make such statement, interestingly, we'll have it on TMI Socials this morning, says a lot. Don't you think, on the other hand, he's just trying to play with the emotion of a lot of Nigeria?
That's exactly why I said it comes with mixed feelings, because there are lots of sentiments surrounding matters of this nature. Like you said, he has a messianic persona, And a whole lot of Nigerians and young people particularly see him as, you know, the savior that we've been waiting for, that we've been looking for. So perhaps, just like you said, he's probably just trying to, you know, appeal to the emotion of the vast majority of Nigerians out there who are looking for someone to liberate them from the status quo. But who knows? It could, you know, go either way. All right, let's move over to the next paper, which happens to be the Punch newspaper. And the Punch newspaper is leading with this headline that says 2027 elections. 6 legal hurdles before INEC.
Right.
6 legal hurdles before INEC, and that's on page 2.
We've touched on the Punch newspaper.
Okay, yeah, I think we have, actually.
Let's see if we can do the Guardian.
Okay, let's see. The Guardian newspaper. All right, take that.
The Guardian newspaper.
Just go ahead and
okay,
take
because of time, it's leading with this major headline that says legal distractions, intimidation weaken opposition 2027 contest on page 6. PFIPC probes divides National Assembly as ADC Atiku insists on independent inquiry. Away from that, Senate 6 15-year jail term, asset forfeiture for fake drug dealers. And finally, on the front page of the Guardian newspaper this morning, ex-policemen reject PENCOM's option B to protest poor welfare. Well, that's all time we permit us take this morning on the newspaper review. Do well to pick up any of the national dailies to stay abreast with what is going on currently in Nigeria and also around the world. Now we'll take a short break, and when we return, we'll move over to our first discuss of today. Please stay.
Some days, there comes the Ugemobo Festival, which the Oba celebrates outside the palace gate. A pavilion is built of red cloth where rites are performed to drive away all evil spirits still unsatisfied by the year's sacrifices. The Ugemobo Festival is to commemorate an event in Benin history which dates back to 1504 AD.
The man went out to bring in thugs to come and beat her.
Yeah.
In a situation like that, do you think women would have seen that and still want to speak?
Really, we're talking that's about what I said. So when they bullied her,
Yeah.
if she's not bold enough, she will shut up.
What is your advice for girls out there that are so desperate to be married?
We women, we have to be really intentional about our parenting.
If you know a child is being abused, or you see signs, a bruise or a child, it has to be investigated.
People barely even breathe when they are going for a shrebi and something.
Party.
You have to be
They
smart.
can't sit
If
down.
you see where they are dressing them up or dragging on both sides, you cannot breathe. And these women will stay in those events for hours just to keep up with that beauty trend.
Is that healthy?
That's not healthy.
I am Patricia Uremu Gabriels, and we're reaching you live from our Lagos Network studio. Of course, Women in Conversation is a program designed for women to discuss about themselves.
Welcome back. As we look ahead to 2027, one question stands out. What is the role of young people, especially in electionary period and also in leadership in Nigeria? What role will young people play in shaping the future of leadership in this country? Across our communities and our nation, youth are driving innovation, influencing public discourse, and contributing to positive change. Now, their voices, ideas, and actions have the potential to shape a stronger future. Now, today on the show, we explore the opportunities, responsibilities, and impact the young people have in leadership, governance, and nation building. Well, joining us to do all of this and more on the show is Maleke Idowu, entertainer and political analyst. Good morning.
Good morning, you're welcome.
I heard my colleague calling you Kupa Maleke. All about
Maleke.
Okay, welcome on board.
You're welcome.
And I also have Comrade Fidelis, former National Secretary YCON. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, now let me start with you, Comrade Fidelis. So as we look ahead to the 2027, what do you think is actually the role of the younger generation ahead of the election?
Well, the younger generation has a very significant role to play when it comes to youth and election-related activities. Today we are talking about, when we talk about young people, first I would like to lay this background to say that young people are people between the ages of 14 to 35. But within the election context is between 18 and 35. Those are the people we are looking at now.
14 to 35, but we hear some 50-year-old folks say they're still young and, you know, Gen Zs, if I'm to put it that way.
Yes, young people, we are looking at documentation, we are looking at the youth policy of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and what we have there. But having said that, the young people have a major role to play because they form the highest percentage of voters in our country. So because of that, the activities of the 2027 election is largely on young people because they have the energy, they have all it takes, they are in charge of social media, they have a voice, they are organized, they can stand any weather to push whatever narrative they want to push through. So young people have a very significant role to play in these 2027 elections. Chief among them is, if you are very conversant with what is happening, and you can see that there are so many agitation here and there, and these are being fronted by young people. So young people are in the center of our 2027 election, whatever it will be. Whether this election is going to be successful, whether it's going to give the right result to what it will be, is likely going to be on young people.
Okay. Now let me move my next question to you, Maleke. What have you observed over time, the attitude, the character, and the way young people actually operate in Nigeria? What have you observed? Do you think young persons are even ready to be in leadership? And those who are currently in the system, how would you rate them? How well have they performed?
To me, calling for the young people or the ones that have been there or the ones that are eager to be there, I will use the word, we are not really ready.
We're not ready
to occupy that space.
Why do you say
it
that?
might be tagged young people, but the mindset is not really that young mindset of a thing, because they are on a drive of, should I use the word negativity, or anything comes, anything that is trending, anything that is there, without even say, okay, let me, cross-check, go deeper. You just pick the surface, and that is what we are saying. That is why when you go to the social media now, you see insults to elderly ones, throwing the government have failed, this and that, and you don't have that space to participate, or you are not committed to yourself. Majority of them don't even know. I was telling some set of people when insulting the president or the governor, I said, calm down. Do you know your councillor? I know the vote, I know the count. One. Do you know your House of Assembly member in your constituency? I know the one. You don't even know those ones that are closer to you. okay, somebody is representing you. You don't even have a say. Then you just move, pam, to the top based on what is trending. Mr. President is the... We are not really ready because the mindset of the younger generation now is not all about, I want to go into politics. It's all about, I want to trend the way it is. Okay, they are still in there, let me go there. You can see young people doing disastrous when it comes to... Some of them are in government. Yeah, but are they making an impact? 90% I would say no. But at the same time, we need to encourage them to go into that same system because the picture they are looking is that all politicians are thief, are criminal. But have you made up your mind to go into that system to correct the wrong? All right. You know, at times they are not constructive in what they say. They just come up, thank God, the formation of character law, then they get power now. Okay. So we pick some and replace some.
Now this might sound like you're holding brief for the powers that be, but don't you think that these young people have a legit reason to be, angry, and of course to hold the government accountable for their actions? Because it might seem like their annoyance is misplaced, and from what the picture you've painted, it's a case of misplaced priority where they are busy chasing trends rather than actually making impact. You said some of them that are even in governance are not even making any meaningful change. Yeah. Don't you think there is a basis for their anger?
To me, if you say there is a basis for their anger, you will not take it. It's just like the parables of the elderly ones. They'll say, not be the way water take hungry you, now you take drink, you go choke. So your anger at times, you need to construct it. When it comes to the way you deliver your statements, your points, and this is not right, this is good, but you will not just come out because Mr. A and Mr. B, and some of the leaders are encouraging these guys to the wrong side. Take it or leave it, because once upon a time you will be privileged to serve under a leader.
Okay, so are you reading political undertones to this? Are you saying that the opposition are the ones using these guys to
not opposition, even ruling parties at times they have this people around them. They bring we get our soldiers, let's go. You have been used, and at the same time you are not seeing it from, okay, let me correct this. No one is good enough. Poverty, they said, is a disease. No one is good enough to look at his leader to say, leader, this is what you do, so go well. They bring this money for development now. Suppose no one, because of hunger. The fear, inferiority complex. If I do this now, I will lose this opportunity. This small place right for sure. Anything leader talk, I will follow. That is why I'm still going kicking against. I'm one of the fighters right now against leaders say. It's killing the system. On and on. That is why some of our young ones don't have base. Because leaders say you are a worshipper to that person because it's your political leader. If his aims is off you, you are gone. No, you can still stand that right.
All right, quickly, I know my colleague actually has another question for you, but you made mention of the hunger factor, which I personally think is one of the cankerworms into it that has eaten so deep into the fabrics of the society. Who is responsible for the hunger in question? I think that's something that needs to be addressed. Isn't it the incumbent? Isn't it the powers that be? Because it looks like a deliberate attempt to impoverish the people just so they can be subservient to them. What do you think?
Yeah, some will say we have a system that failed. Some will say, oh, they are working on the system. Some will say to build is not an easy thing. To destroy comes like pam, it goes. I will say you and me, the government and you and me are responsible for that shit.
How so?
Yeah, because once upon a time they will say, when it's not there, it's not there.
If you didn't do it,
But if you didn't do, you can create something to make it do.
Okay.
The lapses of everybody just govern us. Let's go there and steal. Let's go there. You see a system man that is not working, all he's doing is telling you, bro, I want to invest for Senator, I want to invest for House of Assembly. But the concept there is you are going there to tap, not to affect the other ones. Okay. So to me, I would say the basis of hunger, make I go that area, that the younger ones are saying it like, okay, they want to use hunger finish us. They are not giving us any platform to, exhibit our talent or express ourselves or what we have. The system is corrupt. The system is... Nobody will come here and tell you the system is going well.
Right.
Yeah, nobody. Right. Anybody that does that, no. The system, yeah, I'm an APC man. I'm a party man. So I will tell you there are lapses. But it's just like when you fall, the ability for you to stand That's what matters. There is a fallen house. Then these people are building, or the government of the day are building. Now, a leader cannot do it all. That is why I'm still saying it about, the ones, the circle around you matters a lot. Matters a lot. When you are getting it right, at times those people, you get with a TD, bring a common, do a small, no worry, I'll tell Oga. Those things, who are doing this? Is it not me and you? Okay. Now the government are the elderly ones. No, it's between me and you.
Now let me move back to you, Comrade Fidelix. A lot of things have been said on the table, but I feel we even missed out on the big point, because a couple of months ago, we saw the EFCC boss coming out to talk about how expensive it is to even acquire nomination form, how much they spent during primaries and all. And then we're talking about young persons who are aged between 18 to 35. And then I hear 30 million naira to 100 million naira, as the case may be, for the presidency seat. Now, don't you think the system on its own is actually working against young individuals to even participate in governance? Oftentimes, for as long as I can remember, since I was 2 years old, I've heard we are the leaders of tomorrow. And then I wonder when the tomorrow will come. Comrade.
First, let me say that, you have made a very select point in this issue. I want to draw a strength from what my brother Ayo said. Right. You see, when we talk about young people, we talk about hunger. It's not a thing to downplay, because the role hunger play in the life of an individual is a very serious issue. You know, a hungry man is an angry man. And when you are hungry, you can do anything for whatever reason. Absolutely. Why is there hunger in the land? Who is the architect of this hunger? Has it ever been like this? Where did we suddenly get to where we are now? I remember when we were in primary school, remember people, we had the governor in this state, then Bende, Abu Salih. Do we have hunger at that time? So even when we said military, military rule, it wasn't favorable to the people, was there hunger as it is today? So the system is designed in a way that young people will not have a space. Like you just rightly mentioned now. We all know that to buy, to acquire, how do you raise 100 million for a fund as a young person between 18 and 30 if you do not have a family weight? So if you check, it's discover that people who are within the political space at the moment are people who are family weight. Not those who actually have been able to labor. Okay, now you want to contest to be a governor. You know what it is to acquire to get the fund. Fund is not just even the issue. Mobilization, paying of agents, and how many agents are you going to employ within the electoral system to get your result and every other thing. So politics today in Nigeria is so expensive. I keep telling people, whatever floor I find myself to say it, it is not a business it's not a cheap business. So when you spend so much money in a system that politics have become so very expensive, the first question you ask yourself before you start to invest 10,000 into a business, you ask yourself, what do I intend to benefit? What do I intend to gain?
Right, you said it's not a cheap business. Is politics a business? Should it even be business-sized, if there's a word like that? Because you are voted to serve the people, not to go there and make money.
Go to fine. I use the word business in the larger, in the holistic terms, because even what we are doing here now is business. Trying to sensitize the people, it's a very serious business. But what we are saying is that, yes, first and foremost, if we ask these seats to be voluntary, are you sure people will come out the way it is today? What is the primary goal? Is the primary goal actually towards service? Is it actually towards serving the people? Or is just towards how much I can make, how rich will I become after this process? So if you check whether I would like it or not, today's system do not suggest that politics is a cheap. It's not cheap. It's not cheap. There's no two ways about that. Because first and foremost, the young people we are talking about, we are looking at people between 18 and 30. Right. No matter how fast you are with your academics, maybe you are too fast at 21, you are out of university. In a country where there's unemployment, in a country where the system is so difficult for a young person to accept. Now you even find in political parties, they say, okay, women have some certain if you are contesting as a woman, you are not expected to pay XYZ for your phone. Has that been stepped down for young people? The answer is no. So that is why we discovered that young people at the moment they are purely in the business of voting.
Right.
And they are not yet in the business of being. I remember when I was here last week, Monday night, I said it. Because the political system is so toxic at the moment that the refined young people who would have been able to participate are afraid to be part of it. They are afraid to be part of it. For instance, now you see somebody who is a young person within that age space. What are they? They are focusing on their private business. They are focusing on their private life. I am not here to talk story because I have been involved in youth development.
All right.
I've been involved since 1997. I've been involved in youth development. I have had the opportunity to have served various capacity, and I had the opportunity to have engaged young people, and I had the opportunity to have been personally involved.
Okay.
So I speak with facts.
All right. Thank you very much, Comrade Tudelis. I saw.
I just wanted to correct something. Yes, I disagree with that aspect of though it is expensive. Young people, being in politics and all of those. I would disagree with that because I believe to change any community, it takes unity. So that, therefore, if the youth, disunity has come to stay in the mindset of the youth, greed has taken its own place.
That has come to stay.
Yes.
Are you saying that there's no tendency of us ever putting our differences aside and acting as a unified force?
No, we are talking about the greed side of it. Okay. Just let it be me, and letting it be you. You need the help of this and X, Y, Z. If you call for 100 million, says the former, what have you, what takes 500, 1,000? Hey, bro, let's put us together. This guy will represent us. Are you aware that same guy might get to that place and turn around to follow that same guy?
So corruption is a problem.
It's rolling within our veins.
But it also would say that it even started from the older generation.
If what? Sorry?
The corruption we're talking about, it started from the older generation. It didn't even start from the younger folks.
It's a thing that is in the inside. If we said it started from the generation, we don't give birth to it. And it's still producing, we are still producing the same corruption. Because it's a system whereby it is in our vein. You don't say that younger ones, they can't go into politics because it's expensive. The unity is not just there. Because I remember during the time of Labour, though, I have one of our friends who was a comrade in Delta State. He's a comrade to date. But he don't change the pattern. Because there's a man that will come out and everybody like, I stand with you. Immediately the government of the day calls him, hey, the XYZ, they used his nest in command, hey, blah, 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 blah. The guy, they came to his house one day and he said, oh, but I don't want to suffer, all these guys suffer, my papa suffer, your day. Like, swap. So you're saying, even if you are giving this same youth or whatever I want to represent, say, go there and represent, then you flip it up. Before you know where, I've never seen a situation whereby your own guy at the tail end, when you defeat knock a door, when you defeat say how far. Those are the kind of people we need that you can bounce into their house to say, hey, then they complain for street, say, see. That guy will cut you off. Don't correct him.
Because he's now in a privileged position.
Bam! That chair, I don't know what is going on. I've been privileged to rule, sir, with all due respect. Then I'm not a record keeper. But if you trace my history, I don't do my politics on TV, online, you won't see me do, but let's go to the field. Let's go to the street. I know how to sit you down and tell you the truth, and you will see it. I'm not that crowd chaser, hey, I'm making a point, and you know, I will give you reality. CRCB, triumph.
Okay, now what you said so far borders so much on youth mobilization. I understand that you were once in government, right?
Yes.
I think you were an SSA, if I'm not mistaken.
SSA Executive Director.
So what impact would you say you made in your own time, especially as regards? No, it's just a harmless question. Okay, what impact would you say you made in your own time, especially as regards mobilizing the youth to be more politically aware and conscious, and of course being very active in the political system?
If you cannot speak to power, as a human being, first you are gone, and secondly, if you are lying on that mat of privilege, now here they for shop my food. If I talk, they don't come out to me. You will be a slave till eternity. Okay, then when I was an SSA, way back, I'm talking about 12, 13 years ago, when I was an SSA, at the same time the youth look up to me when it comes to entertainment and generally, just name it, when it comes to acting and all of those things. And I was an SSA. Some silly things were not right. Though in the closed door, I normally talk to my governor. Sir, how far? You cannot employ me and I don't have access to you. You employ me like I did jealous. No, how far? Look, leave the way. The day they came to bother me, already rumor don't go, they don't scatter my name. This, you know, when you are in politics, you have challenges. You might be your next man. I don't want you to be there. Somebody came to this station when I was an SSA, came to ITV to say, my old friend, still in the industry, I see the dash money. No, Maleke should not be there. All of the wrong statements. See, today I see they play with her. Not promote anything for my body because the truth is there. Now, these same people took to the streets, blackmailed me. I did this, I followed them. They called me, move. I moved. So my governor saw me, and I was attacking my governor. And I like, the Senate president was in Benin that time, during the time of Shomole. That was the day we blocked the gate. And he saw me like, that's my employee. What is going on? Just like your person who you employ, and I did work for him. Whoa. He came there, Malik. I said, not be me, they're angry. And I sit down there because I receive salary. Okay, you go answer. Okay, tell them to leave you. With anger, he left. Because he's a governor that listed. He came back after I dropped the Senate president and this David Mark then and said, okay, what happened? And I played the cassette, blah, blah. These people came to blackmail me. They came to betray me. These are my close pals. They came to report me and they begged me at the same time. Do you know after that incident, there was an answer? It's just like when the devil plan evil for you, they change up. Immediately then they promote me to executive director.
Amazing.
Inside the crisis.
Okay.
But one, I was brought to power to say, see I this. If you want to sack me, sack me. Okay.
Right. Now, let me move back to you, Comrade Fidelis, as we leave the conversation here. What can young people do now to ensure that they are better leaders, they are better than the ones that we have currently? Because over time we've had clamor for, I know during the former administration of Muhammadu Buhari, we had the Not Too Young to Rule bill being signed, right? So what can we do to be better off as the leaders of tomorrow? And when will the tomorrow come?
Well, for me, I think young people have the capacity to take the stage very seriously. But the challenge that we have, like I keep saying, that we have a faith family, which is also part of our major challenge in whatever we do. Because by the purpose of God, you know, with the work I do, I work as a marriage and a family counselor. So I discovered that we have a great departure from moral standards to whatever I face, where the society where money drives the day. Because it still boils down to the fact that the system has been provided enough. Right. You know, my brother made some few remarks. You see, when you are an independent man, you can I have no reason. You have no reason to sack me. I do my things. I have never worked for government. I work for myself, and I make my money personally. So you don't have that kind of a control value. So I can talk to you when I choose to talk to you. Chief among them is that we have had.
But do you think that will change if you ever became answerable to?
By the purpose of God, like I said, I don't know the best way to put it, so I don't look as if I'm singing the praise of myself. Okay. But if you go to areas where I've said, they will tell you, they say, I don't. He may not know me very well. He can ask his brother, Comrade Solomon Ijoba. They will tell you, I am one person. I believe in. Do things well.
So I'm not trying to stop you. I think you need to upgrade to possess the other side of politics. Now you are independent. You can do whatever you do. You can say whatever you want to say because you are independent. So how can you get into the system now without you? I'll
still be able to deliver.
Yeah, because the system will want to break you. But say it the way it is.
That is what I'm saying. Okay. Because I said, in areas where I've had the opportunity to serve, I have served meritoriously, and people who know me, that's why I just brought in your brother, because he can ask. When I serve, we are not, in areas where I've had positions, it's not that we haven't had government influence. I have been involved in, we were having one election, they brought somebody and said, oh, this one's for governor's interest. I said, how? In this state? We fought that battle, and we defeated that person. That because we just felt as no people could do one thing. But what I'm saying is that there's a family failure of raising good moral children. And that is also affecting what is happening now. Okay. So if we must be able to really speak truth to power, then there needs to be a kind of a paradigm shift from where we are now. Raising children of high moral standard who believe that they can make changes wherever they find themselves. Okay. Because if we cannot achieve that, like he has already alluded to, it will become a story of the fact that everybody's in a hurry to go and pinch from the cake. And when everybody's in a hurry to go and pinch from the cake, the country will be on a standstill. Okay. Where we are. So we must raise a new generation that will begin to look at things differently. But unfortunately, it's not that we don't have them now. Part of the challenge that I discover, people who want to look at it genuinely, majority of them hardly find their way, because it's like a game of you cannot beat them, you join them. Everybody's moving this way. You are a minority moving towards what is right. Okay. The society is not to pay attention to that.
Okay. I'd also love to get a final thought from you, Malike, just before we move over to the other conversation. There's this usual and popular saying that we are the leaders of tomorrow. Now, the big question is, when will tomorrow even come? Now, we have a new generation coming on board. We have the Gen Z, and we're moving forward. We also have the Gen Beta. I hear my children that were born last year and this year are also forming the Gen Beta. So when will that tomorrow come?
Me and you might not experience that tomorrow.
No, I will experience it tomorrow.
No, it's a fact. I'm telling you the fact. You know, this generation is something else now. The one that is coming,
right?
Allah Maradiba. The one that is coming, they laugh.
They don't even give a hoot about anything.
They don't send your papa. The one that is coming now.
No, are you saying that in a positive sense or in a negative sense?
It's a negative one.
But don't you think that's the kind of energy that we need in politics? Because we see the likes of Wike, and we see how dogged he is, right? And then you said the one that is coming don't even give a damn about you. Don't you think that's the kind of energy we need in politics?
Have you ever been poor to that level that everybody around you is the cause of your problem? Try that. No, don't try that. I don't wish.
No, may I not be poor to that extent?
I'm just trying to dive you to this perspective that seeing Wike being who he is now, go back to his history. The loyalty was 100. Now he's holding it. That is why I said the blood, he there inside. The calm guy you come to now to say, I'm a comrade, I will do this. Let me let something out from the boss. Once upon a time, my comrade told me, he said, let me fight for people for this country. I was once an NLC, blah, blah, blah. I was once a vocal member when it comes to
we all witnessed that.
I was once a this, that. He says, see me, the people I was fighting there. Now they are dead, now they walk with you. But I'm still trying to make a point. But even those that believe in me before, it was just complaining. They are not saying it. But I'm making a point. It's a gradual process. You cannot come to a man that you see for the other side that is on top. You say, you are a madman. No, you tell him you are a madman gently. Before you know, you grip as a Ghana English you speak. You cannot say the way you used to say.
Finally, I know you are wrapping up now, but would you also say that defines you? Because once upon a time you were the voice of the masses, the voice of the youth.
Yes.
Now you are in governance.
Yes.
So do you think anything has changed?
Am I not still talking? Not coming on here to say what I'm saying. No, I'm still talking today. Go to the street, ask question.
Right.
Malike, I will still tell you.
Okay.
But I'm constructive. You know the problem we're having, a lot of this youth want to make a difference. But you're not constructive in your statement. You just come, insult. So that is why you see some, they say, deformation of character. But before, what should be, now only you, now you go answer when you ready. I've seen whereby a situation, now we, as a check, I'm a victim of this shit. Why I'm saying it, I remember the NSAS thing. I came out now. Because I was not in government of the Obaseki. People say like, I be the Emeka. No, I say no. Many people see they were not in the government. Why they not come? They give up. Like, I beg you, government come. Even the one where you fair do, they not go come fight for you. But this is me. I'm coming. I'm just trying to round up. Like, I came out and I did what I did. Commissioner of Police then, I've forgotten his name. Malike helped me. Everything was going fine. Till an attack came from the same youth from Ogbe, which we all know him. We will call his name to the government of the day. The dead body there, a guy that was standing close to me, I call him from Ogun, say, "No, go." Instantly, they get him down. Fellow youth, because the government decided to use the other side of the game. Now I took these cops down to, maybe you see for TV where I hold them. They say, now Uzu, I can't, what they call that grass cutter meat? Uzu. They say, now I can't. I took him down to government house. I lay him there. Say, government, no, I called the deputy governor. You know, you are your boy. I called the crowd was there. Now look at the funny side of it. The government are looking at you. This is my friend in government. that we used to play together because he don't do another side. And he used to know me saying, that's why I be. Okay, no, we'll go. They try to iron it, blah, blah, blah. First attack I gave is from the Cobbs elder brother. That's a barrister. I'm talking about NSAS here, that just 3-4 years ago. There, before the guy like Maleke, yes, I don't know how it happens. The guy knock on they say, live on a family matter. Okay, fine, let's go. Before you know, they went to go and bust the prison. Do you know they rule everything on me? Saying I make control, because the crowd there in the Ring Road, if I say here, they go. If I say here, in a manner that I'm trying to calm them, even when I was not in power or in government, I was still calming them that, okay, not the government will do this. Now me, I used to be police. All right. Make we caution the police. But last, I was being left alone. They invited me in IG's office, and I looked at Oshobe, what would you do that time? We have group. Oshobe, hey, I shot Oshobe, I look back. Bro, I was alone. Oh. So with that, motivate you or prompt you to say you want to stand, those are the things we need to look at. The Benin call it akungbe, when there's disunity. Which akungbe
means unity.
Yes. Okay. When there's disunity among these same youths, they know how to throw it. Then we are gone.
Okay, well, so much has been said on the show this morning, but it's even a lot more to talk about today on the show, but we really need to have a conversation here. It's an unending one, and we hope that moving towards the 2027 general election, and also in politics and governance, youth would be given a fair share to have their voices and do the needful towards building a better Nigeria for all of us to be. Now, don't go anywhere, because when we return, we'll take our attention down to NYSC reforms and more. Please stay.
Onwa is rich in culture and traditions. The people are a mixture of traditional worshippers, Muslims and Christians. Onwa is located at the northern part of Edo State. It consists of 2 local government areas, that is Onwa West and Onwa East. It has a total number of 13 clans and 21 political wards, according to National Population Commission 2006 census. The population of Onwa people is put together at 251,686. The people love tradition and culture. Historically, the people ancestors in deep quest to hand down on their future children a society of love and friendship.
Here, NYSC, what's the first thing that comes to your head? Well, for a lot of persons, it's the khaki uniform. For a lot of persons, it's that anthem, Under the Sun or In the Rain. With dedication and selflessness, Nigeria we stand. Me trying to remember how it was sung during that period. But anyway, the federal government newly approved reform of the National Youth Service Corps splits orientation camp into 3 distinct phases, introduces 11 specialized career streams that Corps member will select at registration. Now, according to details provided by the Special Advisor to the President on Policy Coordination, Hadiza Bala Usman, the Federal Executive Council approved the comprehensive overhaul of the 53-year-old scheme, with the Minister of Youth Development, Ayodele Olawande, describing it as the first holistic review of NYSC since it was established in 1973. Now, my guests are pretty much here in the studio. Maleke Idowu, an entertainer, and also Comrade Fidelis right here on the show. But I'd love to start with you, Maleke. Now, you are pretty much grounded on social media. There was this comment that a lot of young persons reacted to as regards the uniform, which I, for one, was looking forward to, when the minister said, although perhaps he had a buffer, but he first of all said that the uniform is going to be changed to Adire, and a lot of persons, reacted to it. What was your reaction?
The NYSC?
Right, the NYSC uniform.
We don't have a Minister of Youth.
We do have a minister.
No, we don't. You have, we don't have.
Why do you say that?
Because it's not brought to power. You can't say it the way it is. Is uniform the problem of the day? There are some certain things you just have to deviate from. There are some, no, I understand with you, comrade. There is a lot of discouragement. That is why they want that disunity to remain within the youth. And some of us, you say, sense must be because we are privileged to get 1,000 naira, we don't switch immediately. They make the noise like cloud chasing, immediately they just tap the small. Not thinking there is a future. Now you are talking about Adire or Sheji. Is that the problem of the day? Me, I cannot go in details of all of this. He's my friend, though. But at times I do throw it to him and say, bro, I say, you know, they do something. He say, no, Malik, we are working. I say, I know. Not be to come social media, they vocal. There are some things you do. You could just be pronounced. You be like rice, Gary. You not get somebody now. It is let's say pass everything for road, for market. There are some, I tried, you know, at times when you want to talk to power, you play Naka. You play Naka. So to me, I will say, I'm not trying to say, I will use the word opportunist. Because there are a lot of them that got into the power, like, okay, because it's this and that and this and this. At the same time, if you are scared about your position, I know you need to support the government of the day. I can study from my master, Comrade Adam and Leo Shomole. You can see what he's doing in the Senate House. Is he not in APC? Is he not a member of the House? But still condemns to the true meter, bam. But he's still trying to make a difference. That is a man that can look into the president's house and say, hey, no, oh God, this one, no, he no go. But still, now those kind of people, now the house will gang up, boom, to move you out. So when my minister is not able to do the needful, and we all know the needful, in terms of you are the youth minister, it's not, I'm not saying it. The signs are not there.
Okay.
Is it the boss with one time they said about, what is change NYSC, this, how is their living? You serve?
Yes, I did.
Okay, me not serve. You serve?
Definitely.
Bam, but I go to school. But how is their living doing? Those that you call the NYC, you want to change shirt, you change belly, you change future. What about me leaving that camp now? I don't finish everything. What is the benefit for me to say, okay, I served my country and I want to work? You see why some of those people take their children abroad to do everything abroad. When they don't reach time to share, they bring and come back and say, money I can pay for it. Instantly. Power speak, because the disunity, if that NYC, all the camp put together, say, tell us what is happening. Not be the president. This is my problem. There's somebody that is heading that department, down to local government and what have you. Take it round the all sector or in politics, in governance. When you are privileged to be employed or whatever, you are in charge of whatever. Make that same difference. I will not go to the president and be shouting. Majority of them say, Tinubu don't finish also, all that for NYSC. No, there is a minister holding. They put somebody there. When you give that person heat,
right,
he will pass the message.
Now, let me get your take on this, Comrade Fidelis. What was that first thing you actually, held on to when you had the information regarding a major overhaul 53 years after? Now, there are those who would actually say that NYSC has overstayed its welcome here in Nigeria. Do you think so?
Well, first I must give this present administration that, I must say kudos to that decision to bring some reform into the NYSC. Because I have personally, over the years, I've said that this program is not productive. With what they are saying, my only concern, I'm very much in agreement with the new policy, trying to say that, yes, within the space you are in camp, you should have a skill, because that is what it should be now in this country. Because everybody has to be, entrepreneurship now has even moved into the secondary level of education. My daughter in her school, they are doing entrepreneurship, even at JS1 level. And I think that area of the policy for me, very okay. The minister has been off and on in terms of the uniform. At the point he said, no, that was not what he meant, so that it to be looked into. But that is not, for me, if the program they are designing for the scheme to work, if it will be holistically handled, get people, seasoned trainers to train people in this area of skills, not politicizing them, not a whitewash kind of a program. People come to camp within the period of 2 weeks, what skill can you learn within 2 weeks that will be effective in this part of the world? We all know what this to learn is skill. I have a skill. Even when I left secondary school, my first thing I did was skill before I find my way back to the university. So I know what this, and that skill is what is holding me today. If not for that skill, perhaps I would have been either out of Benin or in the village now, joining my post to do some other menial job. So what I'm trying to say is that the program is robust, but government need power to ensure that what they are proposing in this reform is implemented.
All right. Now, Maleke said something that borders on misplaced priority.
Yes.
He said that the uniform thing is totally unnecessary and, there are more pressing issues.
Yes.
Now, do you think that because you sound like you're giving them a vote of confidence, especially as regards skills acquisition.
Yes.
Don't you see other misplaced priorities in the scheme, so to speak?
Good. Of course, that is what I'm saying. I still maintain the fact that with this scheme they are proposing, because this scheme has been there. It's not just something we're talking about over 50 years scheme. There are so many lapses already. You see, somebody who went through school for a period of 4, some for 6 years, as the case may be 5 years, and then is the living condition of these people, is there anything to write home about? Do we even have a suitable accommodation for somebody who have actually went to the university to say, yes, this is a camp? We have not seen the state of the camp within and outside the Edo State. We have not seen in other states. This really, what kind of food they provide during this camp? The question is that,
it's a good thing you asked that, because we've seen very disturbing videos of the kind of the low quality food.
Yes, but the challenge is that the government is not providing money. No, money was provided. It's still the corruption that we're talking about. Somebody is giving 5,000 naira to prepare a pot of soup for 200 people. How will it work? So these are the challenges that I feel they are still there tomorrow. So the scheme has been there. That is why I said, why I thank government for trying to, revisit the scheme. What will happen to these schemes that they are proposing? That is where I don't want to preempt the fact that it will not see the light of the day as it has always been. I want to be optimistic. I want to be positive. To say, okay, you are brought in a reform, good and fine.
Okay.
Let the reform be delivered.
Now, back to you, Maleke. Aside these skills, I feel like you need to stay alive, you need to be healthy, you need to be safe to even learn all of the skills that we're talking about. Now, as regards the state of the camp, I think the best camp we have in Nigeria, if I'm not mistaken, is the one in Yola, Adamawa State, which I actually went to. But aside that, the safety of core members, the welfare package of core members. Now, these are the things a lot of persons want to hear. I listened to the Minister of Youth at the sister station. With regards to the Alari, he never mentioned anything about it. And for most young people, that's all of their concern. That's what they want to hear. Are you increasing the monies or not? What about our safety at the camp? What do you make out of everything?
No, that was the point I was trying to bring out, that the reform or what have you, whatever uniform, we are translator to uniform. Don't also cloth for me. Tell me what is on board. I have a daughter in Bessie Dausa University. I know what they pay for school fees. She's going to a 500 level from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I have close to 13 of them. Just imagine I spare these children. Okay, go to school. You know what I tell parents at times when they tap from this? Leave that skill acquisition where this man, they say, you won't come do. Teach your child some handwork. As far as you are in this country, if we pay you abroad, we pay you within. Teach them. All my kids, the most sound, I know say that sound pass, if they even learn shoemaker join.
Well, isn't the skill acquisition program still part of teaching them?
Baba, don't go school for 5 years, 4 years. The Nana, you want to teach me skill acquisition. Okay. You know what I will get small skill. You throw the light, no problem. If you want to learn, we are smart enough in 1 week. Nigeria is just tell us say the motor pass here. They will elaborate on it. See how the motor take go. That is how smart we are. Then now we are talking about the younger generation. Let me reflect back to comrade. When you said the younger generation, not privileged and all of this thing. One is privileged now. Are you aware that some of this younger generation will they put for power? The older ones even better pass them. The older ones get conscience. Do you see that younger one will come not to Yes, Margie. Okay, you said something about, okay, maybe you are giving 5,000 to treat, okay, one of this core member, blah, blah, blah. You know, say this younger generation feel they given a 1K. No conscience to say, okay, take 1K or your own, give them 4K. They will rubbish it down. So the pains out there is in the eyes of everybody. Not be the one where you come and say you do skill. The major thing is, what is the future ahead?
Okay, so catching them young is what you're advocating for?
Not just catching them young, even if you do. Even if you do. Remember I said something before now. This corruption, don't they come, it dey vain. Not to say, any young one you catch now, you know where they go. The young one, you even be privileged to say, make I groom this one. You know, it's inbuilt, it's inbuilt. What we need to do now is not treatment, not gradual process. If you like HIV, they treat her, you don't go die.
Right.
That is what we need to do now, so that we can accommodate this movement when we come to the younger generation, say youth is not given a privilege. We are given a privilege. It's just for us to stand in unity. We are too disunited.
Okay. Let me ask you this, Mr. Fidelis, Comrade Fidelis, rather, pardon me. There is a school of thought that is kicking against the National Youth Service Corps in its entirety. They believe it has, outlived its usefulness. It has overstayed its welcome. And, it is high time that we discarded it. What do you make of that? Some people are saying that there should be another scheme entirely. Now, there are also questions as regards corps members traveling, interstate. And of course, I had a friend, a very close friend that had an accident. Of course, we know accidents happen every time, because that's the argument, it could happen anywhere. But this guy actually had an accident on his way to come, or to his place of assignment, and he was deformed for life. Okay, and a lot of things have happened to people, corps members traveling, and of course getting involved in terrible situations. Now, accident is part of it. Banditry is another thing, a recent one, whereby you're not even sure you can get to your destination without being apprehended, or without being abducted by kidnappers. So, do you think that argument makes sense?
Well, the issue is not even the scheme. It's the willpower to do what is right. Whether you scrap it, you bring in a new scheme. Will the new scheme be different from the old scheme? That's the fundamental question. Because if government have the willpower to ensure that the scheme hasn't really been, from the very beginning, the scheme was not supposed to be a bad idea. Okay, you are born in Benin, at those states, perhaps you have not had the opportunity to travel to Lagos, go and do your youth service program in Lagos. You spend 1 year there trying to have this bridge between cultural bridge. You are able to move to another state, learn what they do there, so that we can all live together as one people and the community. That was ordinarily what it ought to be. So the issue of, we still come back to some of the areas where we are lacking in the scheme generally. A young man who has just finished school and is moving, what is the health insurance for the scheme that is going into? You don't have one. So that's why when you talk about accident, the young man just lost his life. Nobody is going to talk about. In fact, it's not even known.
Okay.
It's not even heard of. Nobody even know whether he had an accident. So I think some scheme like this should not have a call health insurance.
Right.
There are some other things, innovation that I think can be brought into the scheme. But the truth of the matter is that because the way the scheme now leave people to live more difficult life, that is why I was now saying, okay, if you are sincere about the scheme, give them startup pack. Let them see what they can make of themselves. If you fail, you have failed yourself. Let it not be said that Nigeria made effort. People got a scholarship to go to school. Okay. They didn't travel to go and
right. No. Right. We really need to go because of the time, but there's a lot of things to talk about, and it's an ongoing conversation. But just before we go, Malika, I know you're an entertainer.
Yeah, we're going to.
And we're about to go to another place. We're going to Abuja, perhaps.
Oh, yes.
Right. Definitely, that's the point. But I would love you to just, mesmerize us by singing, especially to the young folks, on that particular message you want to pass.
Yeah, to me, it's all about unity.
I want you to sing, actually.
Sing?
Yes.
Sing your message.
Pass your message through singing, through your voice. Let's feel you this morning.
Which kind of problem is
2 seconds.
So in English, they speak
Okay, freestyle.
Now, politics with this one now. Which one be freestyle? All right. Young folks, I call on you today. Anyhow you be, make you see I'm from afar come. They say the system corrupts, and we are trying to sponsor them by our strength. Young folks, look at the future today. Anytime you see yourself in a position, try to make that difference. Oh, power may come to talk so you around. Oh, be bold enough to speak to power. Young folks, unity can bring us together, but when them see the problem, them try to disunite. Hey, young folks,
Ready, that's the Kuma
we come together today.
Thank you so much.
Kumaleke.
Kumaleke, right?
Kupaleke.
Poo.
You want to poo?
Okay, great. Anyway, so on that note, that we wrap up the show right here. Thank you so much to all of our amazing guests. We had Amber speaking to Maleke Idu, an entertainer and political analyst here on the show. And also, I must say a big thank you to Comrade Fidelis, former National Secretary, YCON. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for your time. Now, we'll take a short break. When we return, we'll move over to Abuja studio for more on the show.
In a rare display of botanical brilliance, the palm tree defied natural norms, sprouting multiple branches that bear fruits. This rare occurrence has become a wonder to many, as experts are calling it a one-in-a-million phenomenon. Could this multiple-headed marvel hold secrets to agricultural breakthroughs, or is it simply a freak accident of nature? An agronomist with Nigeria Institute for Oil Palm Research, NIFOR Benin. The strange palm tree also raises issues of a blend of science with human interest and cultural significance for maximum impact.
Thank you very much for joining us on the program, Healthy Living. What is the kidney?
The kidney is an excretory organ in the body, which is for metabolism.
Tuberculosis affects many organs in the body, but the common ones it usually affects is the lungs.
Epilepsy is a neurological problem.
Okay.
It is an injury in the brain which causes someone to begin to convulse, to go into fits.
It is curable, but the cure is a long-term thing.
If you eat well and avoid those risk factors that will make your immunity to be down, then the risk of contracting tuberculosis will be reduced.
If you're healthy, then you're wealthy.
The Ugewe is the final ceremony of the series of festivals. It is one of peace and lightheartedness, following the more solemn of the ritual year. Ugewe is the festival of the Ewe leaves, a symbol of good luck and joy. It is the most popular of all that heralds the dawn of a Benin New Year. New vow, newness of life and freshness of life, and a new hope for the future. In the evening, the Ewe leaves are presented to the Oba of Benin in grand style in a colorful ceremony. The Ihogbe Society, amidst singing and dancing, bring the sacred leaves that symbolize good luck, blessings, peace, and prosperity. Each of the senior members of the Ihogbe proceeds to give the sacred leaves directly to the Oba of Benin, and others put theirs at his feet.
All right, welcome back. It's still This Morning on ITV, and we're still right here in our Benin studio. Now, we're moving over to a different conversation entirely, and that's something that has to do with xenophobia. X-Rain Senate's call for retaliatory measures against South Africa. Now, in recent time, there have been talks about too much should I call it persecution of Nigerians living in South Africa, and that has been generating lots of controversies lately, and there have been talks about Nigerians retaliating. Of course, we know that the senator representing Edo North Senatorial District in the Senate, Comrade Adams Oshomole, calling for retaliatory measures against South Africa. Now, I have joining me on the show in our Abuja studio, actually, Dr. Peter Adomi. And of course, together we're going to be x-raying this topic. Xenophobia, x-raying Senate's call for retaliatory measures against South Africa. Beautiful morning to you, Dr. Peter.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me this wet morning in Abuja.
Oh, it's actually wet in Abuja. All right, it's good to have you on the show. Now, let's begin, Doctor. What do you make of this policy? Do you think it's something that will even see the light of day?
Yeah, thank you very much. I do not think that it's something that is good for our international relationship. First and foremost, it is too bad that Nigerians are being stigmatized, targeted, and killed in South Africa, especially when we look at our African brotherhood, relationship, and all that. But I'm slightly looking at the issue from a different angle. In the first place, we should be able to ask ourselves, where did it all start? And how did it go that it has gone so bad that at this point we are having the rough edge of the relationship? So for me, calling for retaliatory measures, fine. But what kind of retaliatory measure are we looking for? When you are operating at par with any country, then you can begin to talk about retaliatory measures. But here we are, even the South Africa that is an African country, we are not operating at par. Nigeria is not doing much in terms of business, in terms of investment as a country in South Africa. So at the end of the day, you discover that we really don't have much that we can put on the table if we are going to embark on these retaliatory measures. Rather, I would want to see it differently. There are, well-known international relations standards that can be employed. I'm one of those who probably would have expected that by now the Nigerian ambassador in South Africa will have been, recalled to come and brief the president on what is going on in South Africa. We are just hearing bits and pieces of the information. We don't have an official position, official briefing of what exactly is happening between Nigeria and South Africa. So to that extent, I think the call is a little bit too early. Rather, the call should be to the president to do the needful. Call home the Nigerian ambassador. Let him come and brief the president, maybe by extension brief the parliament on what is actually happening. Nigerians' lives cannot just be wasted in foreign land, and then we carry on as if it's business as usual. So to that extent, I think that it is not about what is a retaliatory measure. Our measure should be based on constructive international standard that everybody knows.
Dr. Peter, you just said that Nigeria doesn't have what it takes, to, should I say, carry out retaliatory measures against South Africa. You said we are not at par. What exactly do you mean by that? Are you saying that we do not have the mechanisms that we need, to retaliate against South Africa? Are you saying that we do not have enough South Africans living in Nigeria as we have as we have Nigerians living in South Africa for us to be able to, really retaliate?
Yeah, you just, took the answer a little bit. How many South Africans are living in Nigeria? Very, very, very small numbers. So small that they don't even appear in the data. if you 90% of South Africans you will find in Nigeria are here officially. But you go to South Africa, Nigerians that are there, 90% of Nigerians that are there informally. So if we are going to say, oh, we want to take retaliatory measures, imagine that Nigerians want to behave like South Africans. We go on the street to say, let South Africa, go away. We will not find them. We will not find them. And if we talk about South African businesses in Nigeria, boy, the South African businesses in Nigeria are established as part of the Nigerian economy. So if you hurt them, you are hurting the Nigerian economy. Too bad that situation is another subject altogether. But yeah, as a nation that is always thinking of foreign investment, I will not be surprised if very soon we will be calling on some other smaller countries to come and invest in Nigeria, because Nigerians will not invest in Nigeria. Otherwise, critical sectors like the communications would not have been taken over entirely by South Africa. And so if you want to retaliate, to start with, you can't get South Africans to kill or to pursue and say, go back to your country. Secondly, the retaliatory measures you are going to put in place, how are you sure that they are not going to turn around to hurt Nigerians themselves? So at the end of the day, we need to do a thorough assessment of the situation and know how exactly we can respond to this. It's not something that we just wake up, like it happened some other time ago when we say, oh, South African xenophobia. In Lagos, they went destroying shops, ShopRite, and destroying communications. Who is losing with that? It is Nigeria that loses. It is Nigerians that are working there that will be thrown out of their jobs. So for me, there is no capacity to say, let us retaliate. You can only retaliate if you know that what you are going to do will hurt the other person. But now, what you are going to do, 70 to 80% will turn around to hurt you, then it is important that you tread carefully. So that's the way I look at it.
Let's go back to what you made mention of earlier ago, talking about recalling the Nigerian ambassador in South Africa. What diplomatic effect do you think that's going to have? What far-reaching diplomatic consequences do you think that will have on Nigeria?
Well, to start with, I think it is an international standard that when you have an issue with another country, the first thing you should do is to recall your representative there to come and tell you what is happening on the ground, not to begin to pick up news and information from social media. In this case, the Nigerian ambassador in South Africa, if he has been doing his job well, should be in a position to tell the president what what I will call a real-time information, real-time data, so that we will know exactly what the issue is. Not to walk in the dark. So if the Nigerian ambassador is not the one briefing the president, the information may not be that credible. So for me, we need that foster. Why are we having an ambassador there if he's not going to be in a position to brief the president? Or why are we Why are we spending money running an embassy in a country where our citizens in the country, the number is not even known? We don't have accurate data of who is there and why is there. For instance, it is a common knowledge that there is hardly any university in South Africa that does not have at least a Nigerian in its academic staff. So, is the attacks affecting those ones? And we know also that several, if not, health services, facilities in South Africa. You go there, you will find at least a Nigerian doctor or a Nigerian nurse, a Nigerian, medical staff. Are they also targeted? The answer, we don't know. So these are areas where the ambassador should be giving us information so that what we are doing and what we are targeting, not just a blanket, blind response. So that is my take on that.
Consider this a blind response. Now, some persons have been calling for dialogue, okay, in some quarters, saying that that is the ultimate solution to the problem. Now, do you think we've exhausted that option? Do you think we've come to a point where dialogue isn't working anymore, and it might lead to a situation whereby both countries will call back the ambassadors from the other side of the divide?
Well, if we are dialoguing, who are we dialoguing with? And what will be the subject matter? What are we discussing? The situation on ground is that ordinary African folks, street people, citizens, are saying Nigerians have come to take their jobs, so Nigerians should go. What are you dialoguing about that? Are you dialoguing to say, let my people stay there and take your jobs? Or are you dialoguing to say, okay, let's share it? I once asked these questions. When Nigeria was supporting South African freedom fight and struggle, did we tell them that we were coming to colonize their country? Or were we supporting them because we wanted to have their country as another state in Nigeria? The answers are no. They are a sovereign country. We helped them, yes. We supported them during their time of struggle, yes. We cannot just take that on its face value and say, for that reason, we can go there and do whatever we like. So I don't see the need for dialogue. What we need to do probably is ask ourselves, do the needful. Have a statistics of Nigerians in South Africa. What are they doing there? Come to think about it. Don't you think that what is happening in South Africa is a wake-up call? It's a wake-up call to say, did we fight Donald Trump when he said we should go back to our shithole countries to go and fix them? Did we fight?
Benin Cultural Dance, a unique dance and quality dance steps of the Benin people. This dance is a vibrant mix of traditions, arts and beliefs, deeply rooted in the country's diverse ethnic groups and their rich history. The dance has artistic expressions depicting the people's history. Benin people have been famous for bronze and brass work, some of which is said to date back from the 13th century, especially ivory and wood carving. In Benin, the people dance to show respect, honor, dignity, which they honor. They dance to show royalty, as natives are seen in their numbers around their body depicting the symbol of kingship.
The threat of global warming is real. You have seen the destruction of lives and property as a result of incessant flooding. Make the environment a conducive place for all to live in. Stop polluting the environment. Protect the environment today. This message is brought to you courtesy Independent Television and Radio.
And I still have Dr. Peter Adomi right here with me. Now, Dr. Peter, let's examine the role of the AU, the African Union, in all of this. Do you think they've done enough in mediating between Nigeria and South Africa? Because when issues of this nature come up sometimes, it is the AU's responsibility to, mediate and to ensure that it doesn't escalate. Do you think the AU has done enough in trying to resolve these little conflicts before it becomes a bigger one?
To the best of my knowledge, Nigeria has not approached the AU yet that we have a conflict with South Africa. And if we do, what will be our conflict? You see, if you follow the trend of events, you realize that the South African government had played very carefully along in this matter. Their citizens are asking questions. They are saying something. And the government have never come out to say, oh, ladies and gentlemen, what you are saying is wrong, it's not acceptable. Rather, the people set a date when Nigerians must leave. And even the South African government respected that date. It has a volume. So for me, AU is not yet, mediating in anything because there's nothing that has been brought to their table. That being said, the African unity that we're about, don't forget that every African country, and I say this very carefully, every African country is tied to the apron string of one master somewhere, where their policies are being weighed and analyzed before they take it. So if Nigeria and Africa have an issue, and they are being teleguided to say take it or don't take it, at the end of the day, you discover that we will be talking at different frequencies. So for me, AU does not have an issue in this yet. Like I said, what Nigeria needs to do is set your practice right. At best, if we must respond to this as the giant of Africa that we are, the best thing we should be doing, part of it is what we are doing already. Nigerians that are there, that are willing to come back home, evacuate them, which government is doing already. Fine. The next thing that we should be doing, like I said earlier, is have a holistic analysis of what really went wrong, what happened, and then profile solution. I think the National Assembly should be able to sit down, set up a broad committee to holistically review this issue and say, this is what happened to Nigerians, and this is what we think should be approached. Not for us to say we want to retaliate. I think that is playing to the gallery. If it's like what I used to witness in Lagos, many years back. I don't know if it still happens now, where you will be having an argument with somebody, and the person is running around the whole place, shouting and say, I will fight you today, I will kill you, I will bend you, I will do this, I will do that. He spends all his energy doing that. He has not been able to come to you to come and actually, embark on the fight. So I think that's what Nigeria is doing. Rather than saying we want to retaliate, ask yourself, where is this problem coming from? How do I deal with it? Rather than calling AU, calling it, because at the end of the day, those are ventures that will not lead us anywhere. What should lead us somewhere is what is the reason why young Nigerians, including older ones that are joining them now, to want to go abroad or go to other countries and go and do all manner of menial jobs, or even jobs that are so demeaning that even the slaves in the slave era were not subjected to that. We willingly carry ourselves to go and do it in the name of I am outside the country. So that is the way I see it.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Peter, security analyst, for your amazing contribution to the conversation. We hope to have you some other time. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, it's been TMI on Independent Television, and we shall be going on another break, after which we will be joining our Lagos studio. Please stay tuned.
Welcome back. This is the continuation of This Morning on ITV from our Lagos Network studio. I'm Patricia Uremu Gabriels. It's a Thursday morning, beautiful Thursday morning. The rains are beginning to at least give us a breathing space so that we can actually go about our duties without stressing over the rain. This morning, I have in the house my co-anchor. I'm always excited when I'm sitting with him. He is Dr. Victor Ohai. Doctor.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
It's a cold morning, a great departure from the humidity that Lagos is noted for. So it's a good day.
Okay, so we also promised you we're going to be bringing back Chief Godi Ofose. Chief Godi Ofose is the editor-in-chief, the Industry newspaper. I'm always also very excited when I have him because he shakes the table, he makes the discussion quite interesting. Chief Godi, you're welcome to the program.
Good morning, Patricia. Good morning, Doctor. It's nice to be here once again. About shaking the table, I do not know.
He speaks the truth, but the truth, most times, we don't want to hear the truth. Yes. So it's always shaking the table because he actually speaks the truth. And also, I want to thank him specially because I made him to be able to come here. He had a lot of things lined up this morning, but we pulled him here. Thank you so much, Chief Godi, for coming.
National issue over any other thing.
Thank you.
We have to build this country together.
We do have to. Thank you so much. Doctor, we're going to be talking about two special topics this morning. Two special topics. So the first one we're going to be looking at is the alleged Biafra agenda by the former governor of Borno State, Sheriff, accusing Peter Obi of pursuing the agenda of dividing Nigeria. That's what we're going to be looking at. That's our first topic this morning. So I'm leaving that to you, Doctor.
There's a video I wish we could play it. I don't know if it's ready, but Boko Haram started under Ali Modu and I find it laughable when all he has to say about Peter Obi is that he's not condemning Biafra, he's not condemning Biafra. And so I'd like to ask you, so first of all, is Biafra still alive, or is this something that anybody should be accused of? Whether must you open your mouth and say you are condemning? I don't know how many Jews, German presidents, every time they get into power, or anybody condemn Germany because of the Holocaust. Is this something that is mandated? Is that what truly, how do I put it now? Is that what shows your patriotism? Is that what shows the fact that you can be a leader for the whole of Nigeria?
All right, Doctor.
Is that a yardstick? That's what I want to share with you in the case.
Thank you, Doctor. Once again, I feel we as a people, we have lost our direction. As a people of Nigeria, we have lost our directions. Why do I say that? Because first and foremost, if we are sitting down here discussing the statement made by Ali Modu Sheriff, that means we have lost our directions. Just like, pardon me to say this, there are some people in this life that you have to say a lot of things in your family that you barely give an attention to. And I think Ali Modu Sheriff fall within that bracket, okay? Well, for the sake of the discussion, I would say that first of all, we are giving Ali Modu Sheriff, who had died politically, right? Who had died politically, another resurrection, let me use that word, into prominence, into political discourse. This is the man, the last time we heard from him was when he had a fight with Wike in the PDP, when Wike brought him to rescue PDP and he wanted to take the PDP from Wike. Maybe we forgot. I mean, that was the last time we heard from him. And that was in the early hours of Buhari's administration when PDP was on the brinks. Yeah. Right? So, and this is the same man that the national discussion now, if you do a bit of a survey, if you do a bit of data analysis, you find out that the impression about Biafra, all right, in the Nigerian media space and the mentions and impression and everything is quite insignificant compared to terrorism and banditry in the up north. So this is a man who did not use the opportunity to say, I condemn the banditry, I condemn the killing in the north, I condemn the bombing in his own state, Borno State, I condemn the attack of the military apparatus in his own state. That is coming back to talk about an agitation that is incomatous. Now, if Peter Obi, I'm not supporting Peter Obi anyway, so I want to actually put the discussion in context. If Peter Obi is talking, not condemning, according to his choice of word, not condemning Biafra, all right? And that means that Peter Obi not condemning Biafra, tacitly supporting it. As Peter Obi,
and has a plan to divide the nation.
These are the political, when we talked about people, and I hold federal government to account on all of this. I hold DSS to account on all of this. These are the divisive politics people play. And because it seems to be pandered towards the federal government, the support of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, nobody's saying anything about it. If this same man had come out to say that Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the president of Federal Republic of Nigeria, is not condemning banditry, would the DSS not call him to questions? So he came out, it resurrected him, he came out to attack key political oppositions members. He attacked Atiku, he attacked Peter Obi. And everybody seems very happy about it. And this is the same man who allegedly was said to have started Boko Haram. And he has also, in one of the, before I get here, it was reported in the Punch, I forget the date, that he said he wasn't the one that started, that his current vice president that started it.
Oh, interesting.
So,
Wow.
so in the end, he has always been here and there. He has not actually condemned the atrocity, the killing that is happening in the Nigerian today, the kidnapping that is happening in Nigeria today. By implication, that means for what he has said to Obi, is also supporting the Boko Haram.
Very, very interesting. You know, it's getting more interesting, Doctor. But I want to quickly ask you a question that is bothering me. Could this deepen regional and ethnic divisions?
That is exactly what is. That is the agenda in the first place. You know, it's coming to ensure that we bring back with the kind of things, the leadership, the hardship in the country. He has an agenda. He wants to take our discussion, our agitation for good governance, our agitation for making Nigeria a better place, our agitation for improving on our level of poverty, the hardship Nigerians, ordinary Nigerians are going through, into a political discussion. Very, very dangerous. And I think the security agents look into that. At a point like this, nobody needs any tribal sentiment statement like he has made that, oh, will not vote for Peter Obi. All right? The North will not vote for Peter Obi. For instance, if Peter Obi has said the Southeast will not vote for anybody, the entire country would have been in turmoil. Right? Would have been in turmoil. So we have to encourage all the political actors to play down on ethnic rhetorics. We don't need it. Whatever it is going to get vote for your people, if it's going to make you more prominent, we should play it down. Why can't we follow the path of our little brother Rwanda? That you dare not play up ethnicity in whatever you are talking about. Why can't we do that if we really want to build this country? Why can't we do that? And you see very strong men coming out to make this kind of statement. It makes me wonder whether the security apparatus in this country really works. Maybe they want to accept, like we can see what is happening to El-Rufai for saying that the phone line of NSA was tapped, all right? And which they do not, in essence, as not as aggravated as what the statement that Alu, because that statement alone could cause chaos in Nigeria. It could cause killing in Nigeria. People could start rising up and say, okay, if your leader is saying this, I don't want you in my place. You start seeing uprising. So we don't need all of those kind of statements. The country is tense enough. With the political situation, with the insecurity that we are facing right now, it's tense enough. A man who just came out after a long time has not mentioned anything about the school children that was kidnapped in Oyo.
In Oyo State, yeah.
A lot of people, a lot of school children that are in captivity in the bush. That when the rain falls, it falls on them. When the sun shines, it shines on them. He had not mentioned any of those things. And we are very comfortable about his statement, about what he's doing. And the national TV is giving him a platform to spew those things. To spew those things. So
soft target is not the word, but an easy pathway
to come back.
Political comeback.
Of course, Peter Obi has been a political poster boy since the last elections, all right, when the Obedient was formed and people started following organically. So he has a poster. So if you want to gain cheap relevance, first of all, shoot at him. All right, shoot at him. You get mentioned, clickbaits. You see people talking about it. Perhaps if you had come out and talk about the usual thing, everybody would not listen to him. So I feel Peter Obi has become a political poster boy, where whoever that seek relevance would first of all throw a stone at him. So it's not far-fetched. We all know it. Because it's been a long time we have a politician who grew supporters organically. It has been a long time. The last time we had that was in the time of Awolowo. Not the last time. The last time was MKO. That even I wasn't even up to the voting age in this thing. So MKO, all right, that had organic. You go to the village, see people talking about MKO. That was the last time we had a politician in Nigeria who had organic followers, who do not need to spend money for people to shout on him, who do not need to spend money, who people love for what he stands for and what he has done and what he has shown. Because you must show workings. You must show workings for people to start seeing you as a leader that they can follow without inducement. But what we have today, before now, what we normally have, we are the leaders who coerce us, induce us, make us believe that, okay, because, I mean, a hungry person, if you give him 10,000 naira today, if you sink your name, not knowing that, like my mother used to say, a child who has 20 egbang is a very prominent food in my place. That when he thinks that when he have that egbang, when he eats, he will eat it forever. Not egbang. It's just close to that. So when you eat it, you know that when you get to 20 days that you have, the days will still continue. So these are the things that they have. That's why Nigerian politicians are finding a way to weaponize poverty, to put all of us perpetually down.
I want to ask you a question. Very soon the campaigns will start.
Yeah, started.
But there's supposed to be
They're postponed and started.
They are not respecting.
No. The government in power at the state level, at the federal level, they've started campaign, and that's why you see billboards. What are the billboards for? When you put 2027, the campaign has started. The only people that have not started campaigning are the oppositions.
Okay, so how do you think parties could avoid this kind of comments during the campaigns? Because, like you said, the campaigns have started, and we're going to be seeing more of, Nigerians do that a lot. Nigerian politicians do that a lot. Instead of telling the citizens what they will do, they begin to, insult each other. How do you think parties will be able to avoid this come 2027?
Well, I believe that the first problem that we have is that we have strong men and weak institutions. And it's playing out. That's why if INEC says the campaign has not started, and a strong man says I have started, INEC cannot do anything. Especially if the strong man is in the governing ruling party, as it were. All right? Because the INEC does not control the police. They don't control the security, so they cannot send anybody to enforce the law. So where it's going to stop is by the time we start having strong institutions and weak men, like is happening. I don't like to use the America, because America just celebrated 250 years of democracy. All right? And we are still at the level of 62, 63, right? Since independent. We are not even talking about the democracy in Nigeria. That's what I'm saying. Have we been doing democratic government from that time to this time? So when you consider our democracy is approximately perhaps not up to 25. Okay, let's say not up to 35 years, because they have been broken over time by the military rules. All right. So I don't want to use America as an example in this case, but as other countries, even in Africa, all right, you could say, because the Rwanda democracy is modeled towards the Chinese democracy, as it were. All right. So even in other climes, we have to begin to see that we build an institution that can hold people to account. None of this big man, and like I said, it's not just about President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. If Atiku find himself there tomorrow, he's going to still do the same thing.
Same thing.
If he doesn't want to do it, his followers who are in government will tell him, this is what your predecessor did. Why can't you also do this? All right? So the solution to all of this is first and foremost, build a strong institution across board. All right? Because if you build a strong institution, pardon me to jump into the a topic that is coming. We won't have what Adeni did in Abuja. It won't happen. It won't happen anywhere because there's going to be accountability. All right? So, I don't even know who the chief of staff of the president of the United States is. Because the chief of staff of the president in Nigeria is more popular than a governor. More powerful than a governor. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm sorry to jump into that. No, but I'm just trying to lay ground rules here for why we are where we are today. We are where we are today because our institutions are very weak. What the police sees can do until a big man asks the police to do it, he will not do it. Okay. Until we cry and shout and there's pressure on a big man. Do you know how long this thing has been happening? Only day before yesterday. Mr. President is just ordering here ICPC to prove since something that happened since last year.
We're going to come to that later.
Like you said, we're
going to come to that later. Doctor,
but let me just ask this. Alimodu has made an allegation. And like you have pointed out, he has come to equity but not with clean hands. Because the very same thing he's accusing Peter Obi of, he's equally guilty of. We have not seen him openly condemn the terrorists and all that. On the other hand, we have seen smaller people make comments and they've been picked up like chickens, locked away, journalists, ordinary citizens. What this culture of impunity has continued. Why do you think that people can make statements like this and get away with it? When I say statements like this, I mean, he has made an allegation. Should Peter Obi get away with it? I'm just using it as an example. If it is true that he says he's supporting, with whether he has proof or not is a different matter. And he, like you have said, can be accused of fueling or incensing tribal whatever. And yet, and these are in the public space, on social media and all that, because this is also online. Should we continue to allow things like this to go on? If yes, why? If no, why?
Yes, I think we shouldn't. If Peter Obi, secession is a crime in Nigeria.
It is.
All right? That's a violent way of trying to move yourself away from being a part of this country. And the southeastern part of this country tried once. And since it tried once, I mean, it was during the military era that happened. So you can hardly see that now because there are civilian governors, all right, who do not have the power. And as at that time, the entire Southeast was in one person's hand. Late General Ojukwu, as it were.
Colonel.
I think he was later promoted before he died.
Maybe, but I'm not aware.
Okay, Colonel, as it were. Okay. If Peter Obi is found to be supporting the secession agenda, the security agencies should do their job. All right? Should do their job. People in the north, e.g., Gumi, Dr. Gumi,
yes,
who has been advocating and talking about the right of banditries and terrorists. I don't think that is not enough support. When, for instance, I'm caught in camera advocating for the rapist rights, asking people, government, to sit with the rapist and discuss and so that they can stop raping. Please, I'm sorry to have used this analogy because it's the idea of people killing people. It's also grievous, right?
Yes.
I think that is enough support, and I don't know why the security agencies have not called,
Some say it's
have not called him in.
You know, but we also hate is untouchable.
You see, that's why I talk about. See, when we continue to talk about this, I talk about weak institutions. All right, the current president, when he left office, he was prosecuted in the U.S. Nobody said he was untouchable. He was.
Who?
Trump, after the uprising.
Yeah.
All right. He was sentenced. So, in democracy that have strong institutions, there is no untouchable person. Everyone is equal before the law. You could be first among equal because we give you that power as a people. But when it comes to being accountable, you must be accountable. You must be. So, I feel even people like Ali Modu Sharif should be called in to ask them, how can we solve the problem of terrorism in Nigeria when it actually started in your government? Because Boko Haram started in Borno when he was a governor. It was started in Borno when he was a governor. And he did nothing about it. So I feel it's just an agenda. It's just a political agenda. It's just a way to move our mind, our discourse, our conversation away from what is happening right now. All right? There is a serious misgovernance issue in Nigeria today.
Okay, so do you think Peter Obi has the right to sue him?
Of course, if you are blackmailed, if you are libeled, all right, you have the right to sue. All right, he has the right to sue, but it's all political talk. I believe that Alumudu Sharif do not believe in what he said.
He just said it carelessly.
That is how politicians behave.
But is it good for the nation?
That is what I'm saying. Well, is it good for the nation? What are the things that are put in place for such things to stop? Those things that are put in place for things like this to stop is weak. They cannot enforce it. They cannot enforce it. And I can tell you that...
Let me interrupt you.
Okay.
This person is in jail right now. What's his
Erufai.
name? No. The AA candidate, Shore.
Shore. No, he said he has been released.
Not released. Maybe he's been bail.
He's on bail.
He's on bail. But they took him to court and they locked him up for days. What was the reason? Was it not? Is it? No, which is more serious? What he said and what
was handling now?
And what we're hearing now.
You know, that's why I'm telling you that if Ali Modu Sharif had come to criticize the government and said all these things I say, maybe perhaps he would have picked up based on national security. All right? But because he's doing the work of the people in power, so he's on the track. And we cannot build a nation. I've always said it. We cannot build a nation like that. America did not build their democracy like that. Americans built their democracy. The guy who started it all believed that, look, if I'm to go for it for this country to be okay, let it be. People build.
To court. Peter Obi should go and clear his name. Let it be. Since he's not in government, he should take it up with...
I think my conclusion should be, the advice go to court sounds so pedestrian.
Okay.
And I think there must be a structure for accountability. Mr. Peter Obi shouldn't made to go to court for this kind of statement. No, for this kind of statement that Ali Modu Sharif made, he should be invited. That means you know something that security agencies...
should be invited?
Modu Sharif should be invited because he has given so much. Because if you say somebody is supporting a secession, that means there is a serious security concern coming up. So you are aware of it. You cannot say you are saying that based on the fact that he has not condemned it. Because if you want to say that to you, you are guilty as well, that you have not condemned Boko Haram anywhere. You have not condemned killing in the north anywhere. So security agents, because that's what I'm saying. First and foremost, this is the case of national security. So they shouldn't make, it's not a civil case. So they shouldn't make Peter Obi to go to court. The security agencies should do their job. Invite Peter Obi first. Invite Ali Mori Sharif. Ask the basis of this accusation in the first place. And if they don't find a strong basis, the federal government can charge Ali Mori Sharif.
This government.
I am saying in a normal situation.
Okay.
So when you say somebody should go to, because this is not a civil case, somebody is saying that I was there when you stole a fridge or when you stole food from someone.
Okay, quickly, just like he said, so we can go on to the second topic. But before we go on to the second topic, do you think this will affect voters' perception coming 2027?
Ali Mori Sharif is highly insignificant in the Nigerian political space today. So what is that's why I started my statement with, we give too much attention to very relevant people.
Okay.
So it's not going to affect anything.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Chief, for handling that first topic. So, Doctor, we're going to the second topic.
Yeah.
It says fake federal agency. You had mentioned it, and you had leaked it out. President orders if probe.
Do you have a video? Huh?
Yeah, I think there's that we're starting with what the president said. I think that was yesterday. He said, "I have confidence on integrity of my chief of."
So where is the probe going to come from? So if you have absolute confidence, because we don't need to discuss it, then we want them to probe the present government, the escape, the Adeyemi. That's who you want them to probe. You see, these are the problem that we have when we talk about, okay, is the president who work for the. This is not the democracy you work for, please. In everywhere in the world, if you are in government and accused of something as little as not as the magnitude shouldn't even get to this point. No matter the confidence that the president has on you, you should step aside.
Okay, let me start by asking you. I know Doctor has a lot to ask, but let me start by asking you, how serious is this problem, the problem of fake federal agencies? How serious is this?
It's so serious that he has threatened the very fiber of this nation. How, first and foremost, there are a lot of legs on it. How our budgetary system is. The work of the people we voted from our places called Senator and House of Assembly, House of Rep. He has called to question the very fiber of our democracy. That if what happened today happened for, like in Egypt, there will be uprising. I'm not calling for it. I'm saying that the little thing that happened in the Arab Spring was not as big as this, was not as dangerous as what just happened.
Bread strike, just look for bread.
The crisis, the strike and the crisis that happened in Turkey was about bread. American can do whatever they can do if there is scarcity of egg. But I'm telling you that in the entire gamut of the presidency, from the executive to the judiciary to the National Assembly, that's legislature, we have a serious issue. That you are calling, for us to even call a fake agency who has a budget allocation. No, a fake agency has a budget allocation. Who defended that budget?
Signed.
Who did that? Let us not listen. Let us take this who the guy DG was. Let's take him out of the equation. That means if there was no even DG in that agency, today that agency will spend this money that we are talking about, 1.3 billion. Is it billion, Abi? Who will spend it? So, for a country that wants to do a probe, I'm a commissioner, somebody is a commissioner of police, and the son of the commissioner of police was caught in the web of human trafficking. All right? And the commissioner of police says, we have started investigation, but I trust my son.
And then you have put junior officers to try.
Listen, I'm saying, I'm giving this analogy for Nigerians to look at it. The commissioner of police has said, we are investigation, we have commenced investigation. However, I trust my son. I have absolute belief and trust of my son. He cannot do that.
You are appointing the people who will...
These are the things that we talked about. Nigerians are not stupid. It's not... I don't want to mention a country. We are not stupid. Okay. Listen, we may be following... I told you, because that is what poverty does to human psyche, to people. It takes away their dignity. Poverty takes away person's dignity. And makes you, it's not as if you call Malu brother, you know, we still chop the meat. You can still chop that is the poverty level I'm talking about. We know. But like I always tell people that, look, just give it a time. When the people, it's just like an ocean. You see, today, we have some feeling everywhere. My prayer is that let us not be any volcano eruption in part of the sea close to us. That is everywhere. Look up. People are enjoying everywhere in the where there's some feel. I don't want to mention them so that people will not panic. They are living in those areas. Please, it is what they call graveyard peace. The day there is a volcanic eruption anywhere in any sea, in any ocean close to us, may God not allow it happen. Amen. So that's why I'm talking about people's quietness. Someday, I'm giving you an example. An average Nigerian can now deduce from what the president said. You have the American philosopher and poet Ralph Emerson said. Ralph Emerson said, "What you do speaks so loudly, I can't hear what you say." You have he has not even said it. He has already given him another appointment.
That's a chief of staff.
Chief of staff. So in every environment, you can resign. Not because of bad governance anyway, because he has lost the party, the party faith, the members of this party. All right, he has lost their confidence. He has lost their trust. He put his hand, he used his hand to resign. All right. So in a country like this, National Assembly is looking at Akpabio. House of Rep is looking at Abbas. They don't ask them to resign for this scandalous act first, before we even come to the presidency. Because if the Nigerians are asked the president to resign for this, the president will not be supporting chief of staff. He will sacrifice chief of staff first to save his own job. Because the job of the president is the job. The president thought he has his job. Don't think he has not done anything. Meanwhile, he was the one who took that budget to the National Assembly to present. That means we must have gone through it page by page with his aid and find out which one was wrong, which one was correct.
Okay, because of time, Doctor, I know you have some questions for our guest.
So, I just want to bring a few things to the fore. Adeyemi said he paid 400 billion, allegedly, to the chief of staff. I've not heard the chief of staff deny it. Maybe he has. You will tell us. To get that appointment. We have seen him in an office. I think they say that the federal secretariat also, I'm not so sure.
We've seen him taking pictures with the vice president.
Yes, with people in government and foreign dignitaries. He has received them by virtue of the position and the office. Somebody who would have been key to that investigation was murdered along the Abuja. Allegedly. Thank you. Allegedly murdered or killed or was involved in whatever it was.
A fire incident in a hotel.
Yes. Oh, was it in a hotel?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So a fire incident in a hotel. Okay, so, and why do you think Adeyemi came out? Do you think he came out because he feared for his life? Because of the way that guy died under those circumstances? One. Two, is the issue of bribing for power new in this country? Three, no, I just want to put on time. No, you say that as quickly as possible. Okay. Then finally, this thing that got inserted into the budget Is this the first that such a thing is happening? Is it strange to our budgetary system?
Okay, first, my mother used to say, I want to answer the first question with this. My mother, when a group of thieves come to your house and steal, but when somebody come to your house and steal only person, be worried because you may not find your good or your property. But when group of thieves come to your house to steal, don't worry, hold your peace. It is after the sharing formula you will know those who stole from you.
Good program.
All right.
So that answers that.
That's answered. Because of time. Secondly, the third one is that the bribery will never stop. It has always been, especially the way we run our democracy. People, our electoral law does not have all money. You must have money in the first place. You cannot contest an office in Nigeria without paying millions of naira to purchase a form printed from a computer. That in the first place knows that money is in Nigeria. Lastly, the budget issue, that is my own concern. Whatever Gbajabiamila and Adeyemi eats, I don't want to know. That's at the level of allegation. But the budget insertion of this agency, it is not an allegation. It is proven. It is there. We should work on that. Whether Adeyemi gave Gbajabiamila 400 million, I don't want to know. At the level of allegation, I don't care. But what I care about is how did that money, was that money allocated to that agency that is not in existence in the first place? That's what I want to do. And National Assembly must play a part in it. The National Assembly leadership must play a part in it. If they don't, their members should remove them. Presidency, executive level, the earth must roll. Whether president, we have seen where president come out and say, I trust this person. People still agitate and they remove him.
Very unfortunately, Chief, we have to go. Time is up for us, very unfortunately. I would have actually loved to continue to hear more of your proverbs and how all that will help this situation because, like you said, it's a very serious situation. Doctor?
No, it's always a pleasure, very incisive and insightful. Thank you very much for,
it's my pleasure.
Especially the last 3 answers you gave us very briefly, but they spoke to the issue.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chief, and we hope to call you back to continue to clarify all of this. And to our viewers out there, thank you for joining us this morning on the continuation for This Morning on ITV. We'll take you back to Benin where this continues.
Beautiful morning to you and thanks for joining us on ITV News for this time. I am Harry Igboje. We begin with Edo State government, which has commenced the demolition of illegal structures and caravans built under the 132 kV high-tension power line at Ego Market, Benin City. Following a recent sudden fire outbreak on the overhead line, the demolition exercise focused on illegal structures and stalls located directly under the high-tension power line within the market and its environs. Efosa Wangwe has details.
A few weeks ago, fire erupted on the high-tension area at Ego Market, Aziz, causing panic among residents and traders. It is against this backdrop that the Edo State government decided to evacuate people from the area to help safeguard their lives before the demolition exercise. As bulldozers moved in, owners of some stores and onlookers scampered to salvage their goods while the structure were being pulled down. It was a movement of emotions as some owners of stores cried uncontrollably, lamenting that the government did not give them enough time to evacuate their goods and property, while others commended the government for the action.
The government, they alert us. We are actually thinking it was a joke, but everything comes to surprise, as in, it's somehow, but we are sorry, Sha.
A week plus, so the government don't tell the people of Ego Market make the park come out. So they know here, they bring caterpillar come, begin to scatter everywhere for Ego Market. So if they here, it will not be like this.
They say we are trading on that power line, of which is very bad, but we know that
But a lot of people now, their store are damaged, so we don't know what to do. So we just pray that government should come to our rescue.
Feeding questions from newsmen after the exercise, the managing director of Edo State Development and Building Control Agency, Mr. Darlington Igabale, said the traders had been adequately informed before the demolition. He said the affected traders made the job easier for each team, as many had already removed substantial part of their structures before the officials arrived.
Those who are very stubborn, waiting to see until the government caterpillar rolls in, those are the people who are falling victim to their stores being destroyed. But for goods, I can assure you, no single good was destroyed.
From Benin, Fosa Wangwe, ITV News.
3 suspects, Dadi Ali from Taraba State, Gambo Suleiman from Katsina State, and Usahaya Viele from Edo State, have been arrested over the alleged murder of one Hannah, an indigene of Kebbi State. Deputy Corps Commander, Edo State Security Corps, Richard Balogun, said following the death of Hannah, her boyfriend, identified as Dadi Ali, an indigene of Taraba State, allegedly conspired with 3 of his friends to secretly dispose of her body. Jonah Morowa reports.
The Deputy Corps Commander, Richard Balogun, said the arrest of the suspect followed an intelligence report by officers of Ovia Northeast Operations and Tactical Team that 3 suspects transported the deceased body to an uncompleted building where they buried the body in an apparent attempt to conceal the death and obstruct any investigation into the circumstances surrounding the incident. He said the suspects have been handed over to the Akiadolo Police Division for further investigation to unravel the circumstances that led to the death of Hannah.
Edo Security Corps will follow up, mix it with the police and work with the police so that we can make the place peaceful for everybody.
The suspects explained the level of their involvement in the crime.
I'm my girlfriend.
Are your girlfriend?
Yes.
How many years you had on day?
Till.
How many years? Or how many months? Which year?
If past 5.
Past 5 years. Don't know. You ever know?
For years.
One additional suspect, identified only as Dada, is currently at large, and officers of the Corps are on his trail to apprehend him. From Benin, Jonah Omowa, ITV News.
And weeks after Edo State Commissioner for Environment and Sustainability, Barrister Nusa Adams, assured residents that work was ongoing to address the perennial flooding at S&T Barracks, Shiho on the Benin-Lagos Road, Benin City, the situation appears far from being over as residents continue to express concerns over the pace of work at the site. Ofure Aneto was there.
A visit to the area revealed that flood water covers a large section of the road, forcing motorists to spend hours navigating the failed portion, while commercial activities around the area remain disrupted. Residents attributed the slow pace of work to the contractor's prolonged absence from the site, alleging that engineers rarely visit, pointing out that the contractor had blamed the delay on a faulty excavator.
They don't work. They work for you, they enter Bada. They work for Bada finish. We don't see them again. Now every day water fall, everywhere they pull, and they sell market for here. Everywhere they carry market course, and they carry market course. No road to pass, no road with the pass go market, no road customer they pass come. Government not going to pass, so I beg.
All the time, contractor they always they come here, they look the road, but nothing done. This fine road like this, federal road in that matter, nothing done. Okay, this area, water don't carry the whole area. This is a busy area before. Business be they move here before. Because of this erosion, the business no go on again.
Where me they say, see my table for there, and they sell food. Everywhere they full. But now, I know they see one of them again. They go that side where water no day. They go just come, they go cross. Some of them where they say ice cream, they know they come again. No market.
This is the reality motorists face daily on the Benin-Lagos road. With the road gradually paving way, commuters fear it will completely be cut off if urgent repairs are not done.
In a previous interview, the State Commissioner for Environment and Sustainability, Barrister Nusa Adams, maintained that work was ongoing to permanently address flooding in the area. However, attempts to get a recent update from the Commissioner was unsuccessful as he was said to be out of town for other official engagements. From Benin, Ofure and Neto, ITV News.
And in the same vein, over 4 criminal suspects have been arrested by the Edo State Security Corps for various offenses. The Deputy Corps Commander, Richard Balogun, said the suspects will be made to face the full weight of the law. Jonah Morwa has more.
The Deputy Corps Commander Richard Balogun said officers of the Corps from Uzeba on the Kewan Road in Benin City apprehended Isosa Amoyewu, who specializes in vandalizing street light cables.
What you can't do for a high pen?
Also apprehended in the Kai community up Saple Road for vandalizing windows was one Ayuna Umoru.
What are you doing in the Kai?
I steal.
You steal? What did you steal?
Two other suspected vandals were apprehended on the 5th of July along Old Ilushi Road, Esa Northeast Local Government Area. The suspect was caught vandalizing the rail line.
Your house dead here?
No, touch me. See, if I tell me lose them, what can I take?
Who can lose them?
Officers of the Corps are on the trail of one of the suspects who escaped. Meanwhile, one Christopher was rescued around Uku Pipeline Road by officers of the Corps. Speaking on the fate of the suspects, the Deputy Corps Commander Richard Balogun said all suspects have been handed over to the police for further investigation and prosecution.
They were prosecuted. Any case we hand over to police, we follow to logical conclusion. We follow misstatement and follow to prosecution.
Exhibits recovered from the suspect have been handed over to the police. From Benin, Jonah Omowa, ITV News.
Meanwhile, two police officers, Inspector Augustine Jeremiah and Corporal Miracle Ehirim of C Division, Asaba Delta State, have been demoted one rank below for collecting bribe from a motorist at their station using the point of sales machine. In a statement issued by Delta State Police Relations Officer S.P. Daffy Bright, says the Commissioner of Police, Yemi Oyeniyi, in his findings of the orderly room trial of Inspector Augustine Jeremiah and Corporal Miracle Ehirim Were, captured in a viral video receiving money from a motorist through post terminal within the station on 13th January 2026, CPO Oyeniyi reaffirmed that the officers were guilty of disobedience to lawful order, extortion, and discreditable conduct contrary to the provisions of the Police Act 2020. The Police Commissioner upheld their punishment of reduction in rank, with Inspector Augustine Jeremiah reduced to sergeant, while Corporal Miracle Ehirim rank reduced to constable. Delta Police Command warned that no officer is authorized to demand for or receive money from members of the public under any guise, adding that any officer found culpable will face appropriate disciplinary action. He reiterated that the use of POS and other electronic payment within the police stations and formations is totally prohibited. And that sums it on ITV News for this time. Thanks so much for watching. I am Harry Igboje. TMI Socials is next. Please stay tuned.
ITV, certainly the best.
Some days, there comes the Ugemobo Festival, which the Oba celebrates outside the palace gate. A pavilion is built of red cloth where rites are performed to drive away all evil spirits still unsatisfied by the year's sacrifices. The Ugemobo Festival is to commemorate an event in Benin history which dates back to 1504 AD.
Good morning. This is TMI Socials. Welcome on board. I am Anuoluwapo Stevens. Better still call me your social media butterfly. Now, just when you think you've seen everything on social media comes with a different dimension. Our video of the day is a video that has now gone viral of a particular interesting personality in Nigeria, Daniel Bawal, where he said that if you think you're suffering in Nigeria, those who have jackpot are even doing worse. Take a listen.
I want to tell you today, some of you in Nigeria who think you are suffering, you're better off than your colleagues that jackpot 5 years ago. I'll tell you, didn't you say adjust my seat? I am a resident of the United Kingdom. A Nigerian that finished with first class or second class now moves to the UK and then adds another degree. You know, majority of them where they are working, care homes. As far as I am concerned, it's a modern day slavery. And I will tell you today, you know what they call in where I come from, they say mereno. Like, you know, it's less than house girl. Because there are certain things that a house girl cannot do. The type of jobs they get there is less than that of a house girl as a master's holder in an economy that is supposed to place them where they collect the same money. When I was doing my master's.
Now, shout out to Mariah Brown. That's her show. The question should be, why do we still keep having persons traveling and going back to, you know, America, Canada, as the case may be? Well, what do you think about this? Fill me in with your thoughts on our social media handle on YouTube. Now, our story of the day. We start off with this one, where we saw her dramatic turnout at the House of Representatives on Wednesday afternoon. It was thrown into chaos and heated debate over the alleged non-funding of constituency projects across the country. Now, it even went further as Alex Mascort, member representing Aba North and Aba South Federal Constituency in Abia State, had moved a motion demanding President Bola Tinubu to be summoned to the House. Take a look.
The 2024-2025-2026 budget is implemented. I will fight. Agencies are not being funded. Our people are kidnapped every day. Heads are being chopped off on national television. We want to invite the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as our father to come and explain to us why we are spending trillions of naira doing roads, while we are spending billions of naira doing coastal roads, yet Nigerians are dying. Yet our security agencies are not receiving funding.
Point of order.
Move.
Thank you. Any seconder to this motion?
Yes.
Any seconder, please? We want this motion to be bipartisan, so I would want to see a member of the ruling party also.
And of course, there was no seconder to that motion, but trust netizens to do the Lord's work on socials by reacting to this. Let's see what you have been saying with this user who wrote on X. We have our first reaction from this user who says, if we could have the first reaction, a lot of persons saying, okay, we're calling out on our father to do the needful. Now, this one wrote, member of the House is calling the president our father. Kai. We are finished in this country. Even legislature, they fear executives in government. Tell me about it. Another user wrote on X, the ones he has been given to you, what projects have you done with them? Good question. Well, finally, this user reacts and says, this is shameful. A matter as sensitive as this, I whip. Now, just when you think you've seen it all on social media, it comes with a different dimension. Now, Peter Obi, the presidential candidate of the NDC, yesterday in a video that has now gone viral, has alleged that his life is under serious threat and he might be killed any moment and he might not even see the 2027 election. Take a look at the video.
The way they are going now, truly.
Yes. So there's a possibility you may not be a candidate based on how.
Not even a candidate. I might not even be alive. I'm telling you. Every single thing I do for a living, this government is frustrating it. Deliberately so. Everything. So there's even possibility if they have opportunity, I will not be alive.
Oh wow, that's a big.
It's an accusation. I know I get frustration every day because You do things that you think they will be normal. It is not normal any longer. They won't come directly and say, oh, we're doing this, but you could see their hand in virtually everything.
So the government is attacking you personally?
They're attacking everybody who is in opposition personally.
Right.
I am being attacked personally. Everything, even to provide me with necessary things that I should have been entitled to. Not at all. I had a case recently at the airport where
Well, it's really not funny, but it was how Chud reacted when he said that statement for me. Now, moving over to social media street, how did you take this online? This user had a different thing to say. Now, okay, yeah, the presidency reacted to this. Let's have the former tweet. If we could go back, Bayo Onanuga reacted to Peter Obi's comment, and he called him a liar. Basically, he said a whole lot of things that really I cannot take at this moment. But we'll move over to how you reacted to this story online. This one wrote, "This is so disheartening. Why are you scared if you have done well? Why is this government after opposition figures? I have never seen this kind of try and error system of government, all breath of idea." Another user reacting wrote, "Ask Peter Obi how the things he do for a living are being frustrated. Emotional blackmail won't get you anywhere. Peter Obi popularity has faded." You think so? Now this user finally says, "Someone is speaking out for record purposes. You guys are saying God forbid." Well, it's the Nigeria thingy, if you ask me. Now, away from that, the Defense Minister Christopher Musa, or General Christopher Musa, retired, on Wednesday ordered troops to shoot bandits and terrorists on sight. Now, warning that any soldier who hesitates while waiting for orders would be treated as criminal. Well, he actually stated this at the commissioning of new security asset in Sokoto State. Now, Musa said troops deployed to combat armed groups should take immediate action once they identify bandits or terrorists. Let's take a listen.
Religious leaders, community leaders, and the general public. It is important, again, for those that will handle this equipment. This equipment cost billions of naira that could have been used for other aspects, but have been dedicated to do this. So I want to charge you that we must maintain this equipment very well. We will come after a year and see how these equipments are looking. Because we don't want to hand them over and then you throw them away or you mishandle them and they become bad within a few months. They must serve the purpose they are brought in. And I want to reiterate this to all members of armed forces and security forces. Once you are deployed, do not wait for any order from anybody to shoot any bandit or any terrorist. I want to make that very loud and clear. Anybody who refuses to shoot or kill any bandit or terrorist in the name of his waiting for an order, we will treat you like a bandit.
Well, whilst it's a welcome development for some social media users, this is not the first time we're hearing that statement come out from the Minister of Defense. Now, but how did you take this online? Let's see tweets and reaction. Now, this user wrote, "Which terrorist is he talking about? The ones they pardon every other day? Laugh out loud, talking for camera and behind the scene do different thing." Another user wrote on X, "Wait, do they wait for an order before shooting at bandits or terrorists? Good question." Well, this user actually says straight marching order. That's the concept of obey the last order. Now, still on the streets of social media, the wife of the El-Rufai, Haisha El-Rufai, wife of former Kaduna State Governor, on Tuesday appealed to President Bola Tinubu to ensure her husband receives fair treatment. Now, saying that the family had endured trauma despite the support they gave the president during the 2023 election campaign. Now, the video is currently trending online. Take a look.
Malam be treated fairly. He should be given bail. He should be released on terms that are doable.
Thank you so
He
much.
should be allowed access to his doctors. I asked the president personally, I'm talking to the president now. Mr. President, sir, I campaigned for you. I stood up. I went to every nook and cranny of Kaduna State for you. My husband stood by your side. Is this what our family deserves? The ball is in your court, Mr. President. All this can stop.
Well, quite an emotional and a touching video, but now netizens have gone to dig deep about the campaigning period when we had President Bola Tinubu and El-Rufai digging it down in London and dancing Buga. Take a look. Oh, well, the popular saying that says there's a very thin line between love and hate. But how did you take this online? This is what netizens have been saying regarding that viral video from El-Rufai's wife. Now, this one wrote, when your husband was insulting the president on national TV, where were you then? Another user says, irrespective of my personal views on El-Rufai and their legacy in our country, I firmly believe that everyone is entitled to fair trial and due process. It is crucial that state apparatus is not used as a tool for political vendetta. Now, still in this beat, this user wrote on X, the evil you support and applaud today will be the monster that will consume you tomorrow. This is supposed to be a wake-up call to everyone supporting evil today, but no, they are too carried away in their atrocious politics. El-Rufai danced Buga with Tinubu, and now this is the case, and this is what we're seeing online. But away from that, finally on TMI socials, in a video that has now gone viral, the governor of Abia State, Governor Alex Oti, paid a school visit, and when he asked this particular school, which he actually built and did a lot of amazing renovation, he asked them if they're paying school fees, and this was what they had to say. Take a look.
Welcome to Basic 5B, Class of Champions.
How are you?
Fine, thank you, sir.
I hope you are enjoying your studies.
Yes, sir.
Some of you have tablets.
Yes, sir.
You know how to use them?
Yes, sir.
Very good, I'm happy. All right, so the Honorable Minister came to commission school today, and we are just finished that exercise. So we insisted that your school must go on. Your learning must go on where we do the commission. Okay? So, is anybody paying any fees?
No, sir.
Nobody is asking you for fees, right?
Yes, sir.
Fantastic. All right, let's let you continue with
Yeah, I'm not Okay, I'm actually one of the Abia First teachers, and luckily for me, I was also brought to this class. Yes, the last year.
Well, someone actually called Alex Oti the game changer. Can we have one reaction to this story? This user wrote, when he said he would use Obi's template during his time in Anambra, he meant it. God bless you, Sir Alex Oti. Oh, we should be seeing more of this across different states in Nigeria. Shout out to all the working governors in Nigeria. We end up on this note today. Thank you so much for being part of the show. I am Anuoluwapo Stevens from all of us on This Morning on ITV, Lagos, Abuja, and right here in the Edo State. Have yourself a great weekend ahead. We'll see you again next week. Goodbye.
This is ITV.
Certainly the best.